Hello, everyone. Welcome to Press Any Key. I am your host, Pen Apparano. You can find all our social media link below. You can join us, join the conversation not only in the comments, but in our Discord as well. With me, as always, our co-host, Nick McFly. Everyone, Mike, he's really here, back from Roku City on fucking visa.
On visa, permanent visa now.
No deportation this time. And everyone give it up for Hey Gingy on the ones and twos.
Hi, friends.
I got like this gas fit right before we started recording. Oh my god. Anyway,
Shit himself.
so we have some
He's gonna
news.
shit himself.
Shit. I shitted it.
Shitted and farted.
Okay. So what a way to start this topic.
Yeah.
So we have some not sad news.
Some
It's
big
sad-
news.
Some big news. So this is gonna be the final episode of the podcast in this current form. Now we can speculate as all the reasons why this is happening, like your parents' divorce, but it's happening regardless. It doesn't matter how much you cry or scream. It's just look, Dad's unhappy, so is Mom. It's just no more tears. Okay,
It's the listener's fault.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was
You know
just
what I
about to
mean?
say you can't blame
You
yourself.
can. All you listeners, it's all your fault.
3 Christmases. Who's upset?
I can't wait to watch that on the Hallmark channel.
Yeah. So, Dad got me the boots he could afford. Well, Tim, the stepdad, got me the boots I wanted.
Yeah, with your mother's alimony money.
All right.
Damn it, I'll be in the garage.
So, Stone Cold, no, you have to sign your divorce papers.
Little bit of punching. What?
And that's the bottom line. All right.
We've derailed.
Yes. So, basically, more or less, it's just become more. We're getting less out of it than we used to, I think is the best way to put it. And, you know, it's just, I don't think we can commit to a full-time schedule. That was our consensus. Stop me if I'm saying something wrong or you want to
I
add to
think
it.
it's just you're giving a lot of detail. We're wrapping it up.
Yeah.
We'll probably collaborate on stuff going forward in the future, but no
Yeah.
more regular weekly episodes.
Like
So-
you said, in the current format.
Yeah, in the current format. So going forward, basically what's going to happen is this is going to stop. I'm still going to be primarily making content for the Press Any Key channels. In what form that is or how I shoot it or what I talk about, yet to be determined, but you could probably put the pieces together.
Celebrity feet reviewing.
But I'm definitely gonna take some time off because we also are getting a puppy tomorrow, and I do have to put some time into that as well. So
That's the reason you heard it. It's the puppy's fault.
I can watch football on Sundays again, as opposed to watching all the highlights and only the Monday night
We're not
game.
football people.
Yeah, which is why this was easy to do on Sundays. And yeah, I don't know. I you know, what do they say when God closes one door? He
Quasimodo opens another one.
Quasimodo opens up another one.
Your parents get divorced.
Yeah. So,
And I'll probably, like I've said in the past, City Skylines 2 comes out on Tuesday. I will probably be streaming it if we want to host that on the channel. So
yeah, and you know, Mike will stream again one day, kind of like.
Once I'm all set up, I've got a quadrillion fucking boxes in my apartment right now. But
that's a lot.
oh yeah, sure is. But once those get a little bit better, I'll have an actually like dedicated proper station that I should have at least for 2 years.
Mike won't be living a nomadic lifestyle like he was previously.
Honestly, Roku City is no more.
And what was your ailment, Nick? Now,
My
what was
ailment.
your problem? Why couldn't you have a dedicated setup?
I have a dedicated setup.
Oh, so you're just lazy. No. So
I
anyway.
do need I want to upgrade some of the gear on my computer if you want to help me with that.
Oh yeah, I can do
So
that.
it's- I think it's
can
about
do that.
time.
I know a guy who's selling a PC actually.
I know another guy who's selling a PC.
All right, well,
I know a guy who's selling a better PC.
Maybe we'll talk about this afterwards then.
So, but yeah. So anyway, that's what's gonna happen. This space will still be a space to talk about movies and video games and whatever the fuck else that we like to do in our off time because the world is shit. And the other thing is that, so as far as the show is concerned, the audio version of the podcast will be around for the next 6 to 8 weeks. However, after that, I'm not paying for hosting anymore. So it will be going away. You can find this show at all the times on YouTube. It's never going away unless something happens and I have to get rid of some of these.
Interesting.
I was with you guys between 4 and 5 last night. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So you can enjoy this on your phone, your tablet, your fucking, I don't know, your smart fridge, whatever you want for the next 6 to 8 weeks in audio form. And then after that, it's just going to be on YouTube and Eternium.
On streaming platforms?
I don't think it does, no.
Oh.
Well, here's
like
the thing.
Spotify or
if
anything?
I just close my account, right, it stays up there, but I have no control of what happens to it. If I cancel my subscription...
Maybe we'll get acquired by Quibi.
Or Stitcher Premium.
If I cancel my subscription, it gives me the option what to do with them. Like, how long should they stay up there for it? And they give you a time frame and what it's going to cost. So
Gotcha.
It's like an exit strategy thing. And like, I'm gonna make sure I get all the exported data out from the analytics too. So it's gonna take time. It's not something I'm gonna be able to do overnight.
This is great podcasting.
Oh, I mean, it's not the worst. It's the last episode. If you haven't figured it out,
If you don't like this, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah,
you could just go past it. You know, what I mean?
We're all
Just-
drunk right now anyway.
So-
What does it matter?
You showed up, and I was like, Mike seems a little buzzed.
Yeah, I drove an hour and a half. Polished off a fifth and got here.
I drove my car here like an adult. Goddamn it! I'm gonna get drunk and drive it home. No.
God's drunkest driver.
All right. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Mike's trying to meet Burt Reynolds.
So, with that said, as you can see, I got all 19 inches of
We got a
Venom
new
here.
guest from New York City.
Live from Saturday night.
It's Mike Burt and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
I got all 19 inches of Venom here, as you can see. I also got the controller and the steelbook. So, needless to say, I
The
have
Steelbook? Is that
that's-
what it's called?
That's what it's called. Steelbook.
Show 'em
case.
what's inside.
Whoa, a whole lot
Gotcha.
of nothing. They don't give you a disc, I guess, when you order the collector's edition of things now.
That seems like the opposite of
Should
what
put a piece of bologna in it. Just like
Send it back. Yeah.
no, they should put a piece of bologna instead
Oh, a
of
nice little
little
We
fun
didn't make a
snack.
disc, but here's a piece of bologna for you.
Would you be mad?
I mean, I don't love bologna, but sure. I mean,
Would you
it's-
be more mad than it being empty?
But here's the thing: if we're gonna do
Here's the
this,
thing.
it needs to
Doesn't
be
even
just
warrant it.
a piece of bologna.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
No,
yeah, no
no
packaging.
plastic. No, it's just like with a little hole cut out, and you're like, oh, fucking bologna. Let's, like.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember on the Andy Milanakis show, there was that like bumper before and after commercials where he had like a record player and he would put like a slice of ham on it. And
Yeah.
it was just ham. And there was another one with honeydew melon. Honeydew melon.
Oh, yeah.
Honeydew melon. That's what I want.
Okay. All right, cool. So I have to put the ham in my PS5.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then it'll play it on the
Ham.
TV.
Ham, spider ham.
Spider ham.
That's what I got. So yeah, I got the collector's edition. The statue is cool, but let's talk about the actual game now. And here,
Can he fight was that Black Manta?
Yeah,
Can they fight?
they're not action figures.
get 'em
Nick.
up here,
They're
get 'em up
stiffies, all right. Anyway,
These are collectibles, Nick.
okay.
You don't play with these.
You don't touch them like that.
You don't fuck with a man's rituals. You don't screw with the things that help get him through the day. All right, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. Spider-Man is a great game. It's too early to tell if it's better than the first one, but I like where things are headed. I just got the symbiote suit like an hour before you guys got here, and I was kind of uneasy about where things were going. But now that stuff has finally picked up in the campaign, it's I'm eagerly awaiting the end.
So are we
The
all.
main us and Spider-Man both. The two main villains of this game are Venom and Kraven, and I gotta say, Kraven was a very good choice. His soundtrack, whenever he plays, it's one of the few video game soundtracks. I'm like, okay, I could listen to
It's
this.
just Welcome to the Jungle.
I was picturing like Donkey Kong Country style drums.
Like, you remember Wild Boys back in the dun, 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 dun. No, we haven't met Venom yet, obviously, because he's got to do the whole Spider-Man as a symbiote thing. I'm gonna
Right.
wear the black suit and be angry type of thing.
And then do the to dance.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to dance outside of a department store for a bit. You know what's funny about that is that the symbiote's supposed to change your clothes, and like in that movie though, it's not like it makes his clothes darker or makes any outfit he wants. He just wears darker.
Yeah, he
shit.
just wears a blazer.
Yeah, it's weird.
It is changing your clothes, but like subconsciously.
Yeah, but he's also whatever. I'm just so as far as gameplay is concerned, they have made meaningful additions and upgrades to both the combat, the swinging, the stealth, just the overall game world in general is much richer.
The swinging.
Yeah.
You can fuck with husbands and wives.
You don't need tokens to do it anymore. They
You
just
just
let
gotta put your keys in a bowl.
No more passwords. Hey guys, Spider-Man is in on the lifestyle.
No more
in this
season
game.
pass that I have to buy.
Nothing. Just jumping from
The
hole to
swingers
hole.
pass.
Yeah. Swingers DLC. And if you're lucky, you guys get to soak a couple times here and there.
Soak.
You and Miles work
Is
together.
that mentioned in the
Of course
Book
it
of
is.
Mormon?
Of course it is.
What's Aunt May doing here?
Did you know that there's a 3rd person?
Peter, I'm soaking.
Don't worry, Aunt I'll move the bed. It's fine. That's how that works. You know that, right?
Oh, I know what soaking
One
is.
person gets in the other, and then someone else
Somebody
under the
jumps
bed.
on the
moves-
bed.
Yeah.
Part of it.
But it's okay
Yeah.
in God's eyes.
In God's
it's fine.
eyes. It's fine.
Yeah.
So, then we have Manhattan obviously makes a return. Very detailed. There's lots of like buildings that were under construction in the first game that are finished in this one. So they add a lot more skyscrapers or like Avengers Towers there, the Freedom Towers there. I don't know if the 9/11 Memorial is there, but I know the spot where it is
That's what it
mapped
is.
out.
Yeah.
No. I mean like literally the two.
Did
the
you
two
see somebody
holes.
fell in it recently?
Yeah.
He
He didn't
chose
just
to-
fall.
He did. I mean,
He like lizarded it into it.
Yeah, he slithered, he fell, and cracked his
Oops,
head on the
I'm
first
falling.
one, and then slithered to the next one and fell. And I think he broke his leg. He fucked himself up pretty
Yeah.
good.
I get it.
So then the two things that they added was Queens and Brooklyn, and they're much smaller, obviously, than real Queens and Brooklyn, but they got all the areas. Like Queens looks like Queens, when Brooklyn just looks like Williamsburg. Like
yeah, they're like oh, let's get hipsters in here.
Exactly.
There's a
exactly.
weed shop on every corner,
Like Miles is like, I gotta go see my friends, and like I get he lives in Brooklyn, but it's like everybody's in Williamsburg in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Graphics and performance are absolutely incredible. It's I think them remastering the first game for PS5 and then putting out that DLC strictly for PS5 was a disservice to this game's visuals, because when you put those two games together now, it's not as big of a leap. But if you put what Spider-Man PS4 was originally intended for, PS4, up against it, it's leaps and bounds. The facial animations, the performance capture is wonderful. The lighting, the textures, the animation. Some of the smaller shit, like the cans have a less polygon account in the garbage, but you're not gonna see that shit. You know what I mean? I watched the Digital Foundry video.
I was
so.
gonna say this is real sweaty.
And also the fucking Xbots are out in full force this weekend. They are not happy that this got better reviews than Starfield, and they are not happy that people enjoy it more than Starfield. Because
did they really think this would not be better than Starfield?
I mean that,
or
dude,
at least enjoyed more.
and like here's
Yeah.
the thing is that they keep trying to make these weird comparisons. How like it's like, oh, there's bugs in this game, and somehow the gaming journalist reviewed Starfield worse. It's like, you do realize that like the games were built differently, right? Like Starfield was built as this generation defining RPG, and it was just a bunch of fucking loading screens. And then Spider-Man was like, you like the first
Spider-Man
game?
game.
We're doing it again.
More of the same.
We're doing it again. And it's that plus more. And that's why people's expectations were curtailed to be exactly what it was. But yeah, there's this one fucking idiot. I can't remember her name. She's blowing up because she's like, I'm super Xbox and Switch, like, and she hates anything Sony. And somebody asked her, like, why like you're harping on Spider-Man hardcore today. Why don't you say anything positive? And instead of answering that, she was like, well, tell me why the gaming press always makes it looks like Xbox isn't doing well to convince players not to like Xbox. It's like, one, okay, you showed your hand. That's a grift right there. And number two,
When the CEO literally says,
we lost this generation.
I fucked up.
Like when the CEO comes out and apologizes for the release of their games, and also like just objectively their games, they just can't get a good one, like a true genre defining game off the ground. Like, I'm sorry, you're gonna be in third place. That's all. Not even fucking Sony's in first place. The Switch is a runaway success at this point.
Damn right.
It's the most consoles they've ever sold. Ever.
Mario Wonder, baby.
Oh, did you play that yet?
No, I have not played it yet.
We
You
do
can,
have it, so we
The
haven't
one
played
with
it
the
yet.
elephant.
You can check me
Yes.
out on Twitch tomorrow night for Mario
yeah.
Monday.
You gonna do speed runs?
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a no. Anyway,
It's a long speed run. It's close to a 3-hour speed run right now. I like speed running Mario games.
I like watching
That's
speed
your
runs.
that's your landscaping.
that is
video.
my landscaping. Yeah.
the one last thing without spoilers that I do want to speak on is that I haven't completed the story yet, but the
Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Oh, shit. But it is a true Spider-Man adventure. It is unfolding as a Spider-Man adventure should. It's exactly what I loved about the first game, which is the same thing that I said about the Arkham stories. They take a little bit of this, they take a little bit of that, and then the stuff that they want to do, they nail it. Like, they focus on 6 characters, and everybody else is like, oh, I know that guy, and he has the history of this set of comic books or from this TV show.
Any specific 6 of them?
Well, I mean, the Sinister Six were in the last one.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, never mind.
So,
I really should. play
for
these games.
instance, the first game, I mean, Dr. Octopus is obviously he's the main villain, right? But he doesn't start out like that. He starts out as Otto Octavius, and you work in his lab, and you see his slow decline into insanity, and you see that it's not just illness that pushes him this way. It's politics with Norman Osborn and the mayor and how all these things interact with each other. It's very well written. It's like a really good TV show.
Not just like a cheap like.
Yeah, it's not just like-
And then he was evil.
Yeah, it's not just like
The bad
I'm
guys
gonna
are at it again.
You
yeah,
know 'em.
it's not just like I'm gonna rob a bank.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, which people say this is a spoiler. Did you play the end of the last one?
Tell 'em.
They have heavily changed the origin of Venom, like hardcore. He's not even close to being the guy that was in the comic book.
alien?
No, it's Harry. It's Harry in this game.
Oh no!
And
Who'd have thought? Did you see the movies before?
what? Harry wasn't Venom.
Oh, that's right. Brock was right. Eddie Brock.
He's
was.
always Venom.
My fault.
Did you not see the Venom movies?
I didn't.
Remember the Venom heads? We did this on the show like a year ago.
We did.
And this is why they hate us.
They hate us because they ain't us. But yeah, this is one of those things where they're taking the characters with their own directions, and I like the way it's going because they're staying true to the
but it's
comic
still
books.
the alien symbiote is still the same.
That I haven't
backstory.
figured. That we haven't gotten that far to the explanation of what the symbiote is. All we know is that Dr. Connors, the lizard who works for Norman Osborn in this game, gave Harry the symbiote to cure whatever ailment he was dying of. Because Harry wasn't in the first game; he was away in treatment. They
Victorian
thought he was in
child
Europe
shit.
when really he was locked in Osborn's tower getting experimental treatment. So Kirk Connors gave him the symbiote, but we don't know anything past that. Peter just got it and can't get it off of
So
him.
they were playing in this story from the first.
Oh
game?
yeah.
Okay.
I imagine there was a 3-game deal and there's an arc going on
Cool.
here. Yeah. So, but anyway, all said and done, if you own a PS5, get this game. It's a good game. If you're a Storyman fan, I mean, I'll try that again. If you're a Spider-Man fan, it's a no-brainer. No-brainer. 10 out of 10 so far. Go pick this shit up. I cannot wait for the DLC.
How long is the story?
The Venom. He's 19.
19 inches.
You want me to pull?
Yeah. Like if I got 8 of him, and
when I was gonna post the Instagram pictures, I was gonna do foot or banana for scale, and I don't know how well the first one went over.
I don't know about
I
that.
accidentally hard launch in OnlyFans.
Fucking grimy your foot just like up against it.
It's just right there. It's not 19 inches, but it's damn close.
But it's a foot.
It's a foot, all right. That's one big foot right there.
The story length.
Yeah,
Do you
you've
know-
seen quite a lot of discourse about this, haven't you?
Yeah, I've seen a bit.
Okay, so I don't know what the average time is. It might be on How Long to Beat, but it's a little bit too soon to tell. Maybe let's see. Might be the first fucking thing up there. Let's see. So according to How Long to Beat, it takes 14 and a half hours for the main story. which is fine. Like 15 hours on a main campaign is not a short game at all. I mean, the last one was only 17 and completionist was 35. And I 100%ed the last one and it took me about 30 hours to beat.
Right.
So it's about around the same time, but it's also not how much, it's quality. Where like Starfield was this endless void of nothing, whereas like I can see.
So it's a good game.
So they're the same. No.
So it's the same.
So they're the same. Where Spider-Man 2 is, there's 100% an ending, and we're obviously building towards it, and I feel the tension of the story getting to the climax. You know what I mean? Whereas like Starfield is akin to Mando, where I feel nothing, whereas Spider-Man is akin to The Boys, where I feel too much all at once. You know what I mean?
Did either of you watch the spin-off of that yet?
No, but I've heard it's good.
I've heard it's good too, and I heard we're gonna need to watch it to set up.
God damn it!
Yeah, they're planning on being like
Fuck.
the season finale of season 1 of what is it called? Do you remember the
Gen
name?
V.
Gen V is gonna set up the next season of The Boys, which will then set up the next season of Gen V.
God damn it!
I don't think it's gonna. I think
tired of this.
I'm confident that the writers of that show and probably the sub-writers of the other
No,
show,
it's the same. It's the same creatives.
It's probably gonna be good then. Like I'm not worried about it being like
Just treat it like one
It's just
show.
I don't
Yeah,
wanna.
I
I
know.
don't wanna do all.
which
of
they
that.
might. I mean, depending on how ratings go with shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't wanna. I don't want to watch two.
I know,
fucking
we don't
shows.
want another fucking
I don't need
Marvel
another.
Disney thing.
Yeah, I just don't. If it's good, I'll obviously, but all right.
Invincible too. We're getting that.
Oh
And
yeah,
they're
and
almost
they're almost done with season 3. They said.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to it.
it looks good.
We got a lot of good TV coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's funny? This podcast isn't going to exist when the Marvels comes out.
I was thinking about
That's
that.
the reason why, folks, we're shutting down. Isn't it?
We got to get out before we have to
Okay.
watch that.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of stuff we had to watch, Killers of the Flower Moon.
Oh, you just skip right over what I wanted to
Oh, that's
talk
right. That's
about.
not written down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
speaking
No,
of,
go ahead.
Speaking of things that can kill a bunch of people,
Yeah, so the one game that I've been looking forward to, City
entire
Skylines 2.
fucking life.
For many months, I've been looking forward to this, and a lot of the creators that I follow.
Nope, we're not doing
sorry,
that.
I got a fidget. Here you go, bud. Thank you.
Here's a rubber band.
I'm wearing eye protection, so that's fine.
A lot of the creators that I follow have been saying like that they're looking forward to and happy with the way the game is going, and they're like, oh, it's we have an alpha version of the game,
I was gonna
so
say they've been beta test or
They-
like early testing.
they've been testing it, and we're like, oh, it's like we have a not like a pre-release version of the game, so there's these things that are missing, but hopefully it comes together by the time that release happens. And then like the day after I buy the Ultimate Edition,
Did they delay it?
they're finally starting to release like, oh well, performance is not where it needs to be, and they're still gonna release it.
They're telling you this openly?
Yeah.
That's a bold
Wait, so
strategy.
the,
Normally, it's just be quiet. Just put it out.
The developers.
The developers have said that we didn't meet the benchmark that we want to.
Who's their
performance-
publisher?
Paradox. I don't know if that's the developer. I don't know about publisher.
Okay, hold on.
But yeah, the performance apparently it's like a very heavy game. It's not where it needs to be. Some of the things that you think would have been solved, like when you place a building on uneven terrain, it's still giving you issues like the first game
like it's
did.
trying to auto fix, but then like,
It
kind
doesn't even fix. It
Oh.
just so like you have to almost create terrorist
Of, I
version.
thought that was like the whole thing about the quality of life
was
about
the big
this. Yeah.
problem in the first one. That and just like some of the building tools, there's little things. It's like they brought in modders to help fix this game.
Yeah.
And a lot of they did make a lot of additions for quality of life, but some of the things that are glaringly obvious have not been addressed. And I'm trying to temper my expectations with being like the version of the City Skylines 1 that I got. I came in 8 years after it was put together, heavy modding community, and they're constantly releasing DLCs.
Yeah,
so
you got
I just,
like the most optimized
Yeah.
version of one.
so I can't be coming into this expecting it to be the final version of City Skylines 1. It's going to take time for it to be
Sure.
a finished game. It's just crazy that they did address it and they were like, yeah, it's not meeting the benchmarks that we want.
I at least respect that from doing that. Like I was a couple games I was following. Like this is a big developer. Like
Yeah.
this is a very established team, and like City Skylines 1 is a beloved game.
Yeah.
One of the games I was following for a while, Darkest Dungeon 2, that was in like alpha and beta and everything, and then like once it was released, they were very clear about releasing it as this is a 1.0 release.
Right.
They're like, it is not clearly finished yet. There's stuff we want to roll out, but we think it's at a point where we can give it to y'all.
Yeah.
And it made it a lot better because once they then made like some significant changes and like kind of overhauled a lot of different things, then as I was playing it, it was almost like, oh, I'm playing like a new game again. Like
Right.
it kind of like refreshed it each time.
I'm just like being the type of games that I play. One of my favorite games is 7 Days to Die. That game's been in like alpha forever. It's been,
20
like a
years.
decade, like literally a decade.
Yeah.
And it's like it's a fun game, but it's a very flawed game. So this, I have faith that it's like, yes, it's not where it needs to be. In 6 months' time, it's gonna be great. So, but yeah, that was just disappointing to watch a bunch of reviews this morning and be like, fuck, this is gonna, my computer's gonna crash. It's gonna be like you playing PUBG.
It's awful. We don't know what's going
It's
on.
not a performance problem. I swear this never happens. Yeah, that sucks. I'm seeing here that the developer is actually Colossal Order,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Paradox Interactive is the publisher.
publisher.
Thank you. Yeah.
The games that they've only made Cities. So the game's actually Cities
Yeah,
Skylines.
colon.
Got it.
Yeah.
So Cities Skylines and then Cities Skylines 2, and then they did Cities in Motion and Cities in Motion 2. So those are their 4 games under their belt.
I
did
their
not
only
know-
games were stomping on SimCity.
Yeah, I didn't know that they were making this in Unity though. That's interesting because
That was the whole thing.
that's the big controversy right now.
What does that mean to you as somebody?
I mean,
don't know
Unity
what
can
that
go
means.
either way. You could have a City Skylines where it's awesome, or you can have Phasmophobia where it's kind of broken.
It
Phas.
massively
Damn,
depends.
I
on
am
the amount
seeing
of
that the
money you wanna
reviews
throw
for this
into it, like-
game are not great, Nicholas. Across the board, looking like 6s and 7s. There's only 2 places
See-
that gave it anywhere near an 8,
Well,
and
that's-
only
that's not-
IGN.
be
that's
all
not a bad
that's got to be
review.
all performance related
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you're like, this game is great, except the third of it, my score going away
Yeah,
from
but
like,
hold on.
performance.
Yeah.
Performance absolutely matters.
Sure.
It 100% matters.
Especially with a-
and if
like a
your game-
simulator.
Yeah, and if your game doesn't perform regardless of hardware, it's not a good game.
No.
Like if it's not optimized, it's not a good game.
But-
there's plenty of games I've had to take the L on because they weren't optimized.
But
Like,
you can
if
fix-
they patch it in a few weeks,
Yeah.
You can fix optimization and performance. You can't fix.
you
just
can't fix a
shit
shitty game.
Yeah.
Right. And now here's the thing. I do not agree with this strategy of, well, it's not ready yet, but we're putting it out anyway. Delay it. You have to delay it. You're going to have to eat it, but you need to delay it.
So
like,
that's for me. I'm on a fence because usually I would be on that side. Just don't, if it's not done, don't release it. But also, I've been waiting for this game for so long. I've had my calendar marked. I kind of just want to play it.
Yeah.
I just want to get in there, get a feel for it, and when it's ready,
Dig around,
then
yeah.
patch it in.
No, I definitely, I listen, I totally hear what you're saying.
If it's a
because-
game that's more of a story mode kind of game,
Yes.
that's a big difference. But the fact that I'll have endless hours of gameplay out of this. I could start a new city. I could do whatever.
Yeah.
I could go back to an earlier save and try something else.
And this kind of game that is iterative in building and everything benefits from having a mass amount of bug testers.
Yeah.
But the problem here is that these games live and die by their community, right? Your biggest net to cast as many people to go into to be a part of your community is on launch. That is, the statistics on that are irrefutable. You might have a great game, but if it does not perform well and people are sick of it, you're losing that player base.
Fair enough.
And a lot of gamers are like, well, too little, too late. I paid $60 4 months ago when this came out and I had time for it. Now I'm playing this game already.
I've moved
and I don't
on.
want to go back to that game. Like Jedi Fallen Order, I got 3 hours into that game and it kept crashing. I still haven't gone back to the sequel to fucking Jedi, or what is it? Jedi Survivor, I think this
Yeah.
one is.
Yeah.
To the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, one of the best games of 2019. I just can't.
Don't wanna go.
I just like, oh, fucking Spider-Man's here. Alan Wake 2 I think came out this week or comes out next week. I'm like, fucking Spider-Man. Like, yeah, it's like, it's just, it's too good. You know what I mean?
Don't wanna.
So,
But it's a different, like, I agree in the sense of it not being a story game and it being like a sim game and an iterative one that can continually just play again and play different versions and change and change and change. That, yeah, you're totally right. Like, you will lose a lot of people, but it is a sequel, so it's the legacy game.
It's got the built-in
to a
audience.
massively beloved community with the people that is even like, if this is not working well, yeah, they're going to be pissy, but they're going to play it. to
And
your
the
point.
big creators are already saying, like, I have my day one mods that I'm going to be looking for from the modders. I know what this game needs. They're gonna like get us through this.
Yeah.
So
We need the community.
yeah. It's great. This is the one game that I did actually like. I had extensive mods for.
Yeah.
The first one I should say. Like, so I'm locked in for this fucking.
Your
ride.
excitement reminds me of my excitement for God of War Ragnarok.
Yeah, exactly.
And famously, for the last 3 years on this show, anytime they announced a delay, I was like, good.
Let it be.
That's
Be
fair.
absolute certain that it is perfect. And apparently they were rewriting shit and changing thing all the way up to the 11th hour. Like before Sony was like, pencils down. This shit has to come out. So, sad that it doesn't look like it's going to go this way for City Sky.
You'll get an update on this in a couple days.
Oh, yes, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I'll get a phone call. Hey, how much are new GPUs? Because
I need the top of the line.
Dude, fucking for 4K 60 FPS on Alan Wake on Ultra, you already need a 40 series. Like my 3080 is already on the way out the door. I was like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, that's the thing. Like, we're at the point where I think like because of Bitcoin mining and crypto mining, I think they put a lot of work into GPUs really quickly.
Yeah.
To work to advance them. And I feel we're at the point of GPUs is where we are with memory and processors, where it's like every year they just get wildly better, but they need to be way less expensive.
So this year, the 14th generation of Intel is just a reviz of the 13th gen. So you can get my power level at twice the less than twice the power consumption.
Yeah.
So like
Under half.
yeah, it takes less power to run, but you get way more processing power out of it. So there is stuff like that, like because there's going to be a new line of chips in the future, especially when they're coming stateside. It's going to be better technology. And the other thing is the oh my god, I hate that sandwich. I'm so gassy now. I don't know why. Jesus Christ. Anyway, the other thing is,
I'm so gassy.
remember, they launched the 30 series when there was no parts to put. It was a paper launch. You know what I mean? Like they didn't do it. There was no products that were available, and that was like that for like 2 fucking years.
It's like the Star Wars toy line.
Okay, so
Mike,
That
you
a
get that
thing?
reference?
No.
That was a big thing.
it's not a good reference if you got to tell us.
So it was a big thing. George Lucas won the merchandising rights to Star Wars, and after Star Wars was a big, huge hit, they didn't anticipate they were going to have huge toy sales that following Christmas. So they just sold like IOU paper vouchers to like, whenever these toys are made, you're gonna get one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So they paper launched it and it was pretty shitty, and then there was no GPUs for 2 years, and then there was the crypto surge and the fucking so like I feel like the window for the 30 series to have its prominence was not available. Like it just didn't exist.
Yeah.
So then they put out the 40 series to compensate, and at one point they went back to manufacturing 20 series because that's all they had parts for. But now they're giving it time. Like it's going to be a couple of years before like the hint of a 50 series is on the way. And I don't even want to know what those cards are going to look like.
Too much money.
I don't think they're too much for what they are and
Still
what they
too much
provide.
money. It's still a lot of money.
To be
You're a broke
updating
bitch,
your
yeah. To be a
system.
bitch,
If you're a broke bitch, yeah, it's fucking poor.
All these little poor people.
Pay all these bills.
Oh, you know,
All right, anyway.
New York or
The fuck were we talking about? City Skylines? So are you going to play it on stream or not? Because right now it sounds like
I'm
your
wondering if I'm
computer's
going
not
to be
gonna-
able to handle it.
Yeah,
So.
and then throw streaming on top of that. Let's
Yeah.
I would download it and fuck around with it,
Yeah.
and then maybe wait until like Wednesday or Thursday to see if a patch comes out.
Yeah.
And then go from there.
Okay.
That'd be my
Look,
rec.
Nick, it could be worse. All right, the one game I wanted last year, the Callisto Protocol, they uploaded the wrong fucking version of the game to Steam. A clerical error on the way out
Yeah,
on
it was
launch.
underscore final 5 and
Yeah.
it needed underscore final 6.
yeah, exactly. So it could
one
be
was that?
worse. Callisto Protocol,
Yeah. What's the premise?
the
of that
one with basically Mike Tyson's Punch Out in space.
Did I watch you play that? Oh, that was the
Mike
one that
Tyson
was like
Dead Space.
That's
Yeah.
like
Right.
Dead Space.
Left.
Yeah, yeah.
Smack, shoot. And
Yeah.
it's like that for a whole 10 hours. It was wonderful.
And I loved it.
And I loved every second of it. All right. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Let's
Did we
do
talk
it.
about it? All right. So we saw Killers of the Flower Moon, and it was a long one. There's no way around that. 3 hours and 29 minutes.
That new
Scorsese's
vehicle.
Scorsese's magnum opus. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
However,
I've been seeing a lot of
Very
reviews
good.
saying like this is his best period.
Oh.
He's been like fucking knocking him out of the park.
Phase 4 has been good.
Yeah, phase 4 of the Scorsese verse.
have you guys seen The Irishman?
No,
Have you seen Silence?
no.
You saw Wolf of Wall Street though.
Saw
right?
Wolf
I
of
saw
Wall Street?
Silence. I
Have
didn't
you
see
seen
Irishman.
You haven't seen The Irishman?
No.
I
'Cause
thought
it was
The
too
Irishman
fucking long.
I thought The Irishman was better than this.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, granted, all the old guys look shiny for most of the movie, but still, they.
We love a shiny
I thought
old
that
guy.
movie's better. So let's talk about Killers of the Flower Moon, though. So this is based off of a book about the Osage murders in the 1930s, 20s, 30s, around there. And
Post World War One.
yes, and it is a story of the local kingpin basically trying to marry his surrogate sons or his sons, whoever, into
Nephew, son.
whatever he can into their bloodline, and then kill off everybody that gets
Take their oil.
take their oil money.
It's just a mafia movie.
It is
Native Americans,
It is.
essentially.
It
I saw
is.
somebody describe it as like the Western that Scorsese never made before, and I'm like, this, although it takes place in the West, doesn't feel like a Western.
It's also
because the
too
themes-
late. It's too late in history too.
Yeah.
The West was already
You
dead by
get it.
then.
You get a bit of the Western kind of with like the gunslinging and like random like
yeah,
Yeah,
bank
but
robbing
once-
and
10-gallon
shit.
hats.
But once you're past like the 1910s, that shit was all that way of life was gone. It's
Yeah.
just that technology, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Remember, technology every 18 months we double whatever the fuck we do now. Whereas then it was like it could be 18 years before we think of a new fucking wheel. You know what I mean? Like,
Did we think of a new wheel? Did we get there?
The rhombus.
Someone figured out a new wheel. It wasn't us though. This wheel's square. No. So Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, Lily, what's her name?
Gladstone.
Lily Gladstone, a bunch of random famous dudes.
Jack
that
White,
never.
Jason Isabel.
Yeah, that's right. Jack White was in the movie.
That was the most surprising
Yeah.
cameo.
Really? I thought there was another one that we won't spoil here that I knew as soon as I saw it. I was like, oh, Nick's going to like this fucking
I was
movie.
like, I fucking knew this would
I was
happen.
excited but it wasn't as surprising as like Jack fucking White.
Who's doing
Why?
the transatlantic voice on stage for radio?
Yeah. It was cool as fuck.
Oh, we had
Where-
Brendan Fraser.
What that? God, that was the.
That's
then
not-
the,
that's
then
a
the other
spoiler.
one.
That's not one thing.
Well, if we're saying Brendan Fraser, then we got to say Mr. Roundmouth himself. What the fuck is his name? Third Rock from the Sun.
Kelsey,
not Kelsey
Grammer.
Grammer.
Yeah, like Jimmy Stewart, but not Jimmy Stewart.
Why can't we think of his name?
Help!
Who was it in the movie?
he was
he was
the,
the
other
other
lawyer.
Cameos and Killer
I'm
of the
Third
Flower
Rock
Moon.
from the Sun.
It's gonna kill me.
Jason Isabel.
Jason Isabel was the
Was
guy who kept
the-
marrying all of the sisters.
Bill Smith.
Pete Yorn. Sturgill Simpson.
Sturgill Simpson. Yeah, Sturgill
And Ron
Simpson's a real
DeSantis.
He
good.
was also just in The Creator.
Takanana Means.
Not sure. Jack.
Jack White. Charlie Musselwhite. Everett Waller. Brendan Fraser. John Lithgow.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, so
Thank you.
that's John Lithgow. Here's
Mr.
the thing.
Roundmouth.
John
Oh.
Lithgow has been in 100 movies, but the only thing my brain ever goes to is when he did that shitty Broadway play. It was called Hillary and Clinton, and it was like a stage play about
Was
their
he
lives.
Bill?
Yeah, just fuck them, dude. It was over as soon as it opened. It's like all the fucking liberals went and saw it, and then it closed immediately. Because guess what? It wasn't a good show.
He also did that famous season of Dexter.
And
Yeah,
then
he's
fucking
real good in that show.
fucking Marty had a cameo himself too at the end.
What?
Marty
Oh,
Scorsese.
I think you're talking about
yeah.
Michael J.
You're
Fox.
yelling. Yeah, I thought so too. I was
what?
like, you're yelling.
How did I miss that?
No,
You're yelling
Nick,
at
in
me for-
2023, nobody was like, "Oh, did you see Marty in that video?" And everyone was like, "Marty McFly, where?"
I did the same thing. I was like, you're yelling at me for spoiling Brendan Fraser, and you're just like, and the director.
Yeah, but that doesn't spoil the ending of the
Doesn't
movie.
spoil anything
So
about the
no,
movie.
not at all.
Brendan Fraser also, before we get into things, his acting was horrendous.
But it was so great at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah,
Because he's just being a shitty lawyer.
I know, but it was like his acting was very clearly like
Stupid boy.
yeah, stupid boy, and stiff and everything. And I was like,
thought
you're
that
just.
was fine.
It was great. It was
Yeah.
great.
I was just your opposite, like several like
You
very
like,
prolific
but
actors
we've already,
and,
but
like,
at that point of the movie, you had already crossed into where Martin Scorsese does like this weird like heightened reality
It felt
type
like
of
Wes
shit.
Anderson for
yeah.
a few minutes.
Yeah,
fair.
exactly.
When they arrest Blackie, was it Blackie at the bank robbery?
yeah.
I guess I'm spoiling a little
That's
bit.
hardly.
But
There's 3.5 hours.
Like, it turns into they're like, oh, they pulled a straight up Wes
did,
Anderson
yeah.
in that moment.
yeah. So let's talk about the story overall without going into details.
Do you want to just give it a overall?
Well, no, I don't want to spoil anything. I want to
Okay,
let's talk about it non-spoilers first, and then we'll so non-spoiler story just generally, not a synopsis or anything. I thought this was really, really, really good up until the very last scenes of the movie. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Really?
Oh yeah, I would give this a 10 out of 10 if that last 3 minutes didn't happen. Because I get what he tried to do. Like I get the intent there, but I just didn't like the fact that it just basically left you with your dick in your hand.
well,
That's the kind of like you feel like you're one of the Osage at that point.
No, incorrect. I don't feel like that. I feel like I was cheated out of the ending of a movie
You-
for some weird lesson.
Right.
No, there is no conclusion.
No, there was a conclusion.
yes,
Let's not get into
it
it
is
yet.
reality.
Yeah.
like it is an actual.
It's like the same thing.
situation.
I just watched this past weekend. I watched Zodiac for the first time.
I shut that movie off twice. I can't get
At
through
the
it. but
at
go
the end
on.
of the movie, it's just like, no, they never caught the Zodiac, and
Unsolved mystery
We're still
shit.
not. We think it's this guy, but we're not sure. And
Yeah.
it's just like that. That movie's also like 3.5 hours long, and you're just like, what do I do now?
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get to
sense
it. We'll get to it.
Of like, oh fuck, there's no resolution here.
It's part of the dread, and like I think that's what it does well.
yeah.
Performances, I think everyone's stellar across the board. Lily Gladstone,
God damn.
holy shit,
Wow.
She's gonna get all the awards. If she
what
doesn't,
I've been
I'll be
hearing, yeah.
shocked. The other thing too is that I think Leo is very good, but I don't think he's at the top of his game like he has been previously. Like you can't do any better than The Revenant. You know what I mean? Like
he was decent in it, but like
what? Wait, no, dude, we watched that at my house.
No, I never saw it.
You might have did your famous falling
Fall
asleep with your
asleep
eyes
early.
open act.
I think that last scene with just the two of them, I think that's some
That's
of
the
Leo's
best
best
scene in the
acting.
movie.
yes, that scene is the best.
Like
scene in the movie.
you just see his soul bared,
Yeah.
in front of the camera.
because you knew she would have forgiven him too.
yeah.
If he would have just admitted
would
it,
have, yeah.
yeah. But,
God, it was good. That
Yeah.
scene is so good.
The cinematography is exceptional as per usual. The one kind of gripe I have with Martin Scorsese movies is that he never moves the fucking camera.
I actually
there's-
loved that.
So there's never any build up or rush in any of the more intense moments.
I didn't have a problem with it, but it
just-
does kind of give. I get what you're saying. Whereas in a lot of movies, you use the camera almost as like an element of the story.
Yeah.
Whereas it's very much just saying this is how it is. It's
Yeah.
locked down. It's stationary.
Yeah.
These are the facts.
That's
Yeah.
I really liked it from the perspective of, and the one thing that sticks out in my mind where I like very strongly notice the stillness of the camera is when they go to that Mason kind of temple and
yeah,
he like
yeah.
kneels him down over the thing and he's spanking him a bit. But when he's in the chair, when Leo's in the chair and then you have Robert De Niro up there like yelling at him, I think the sense of like the camera and the stillness there and then the like height differences between the two really illustrated like a fantastic power
You're right.
imbalance.
I think, I mean, don't get me wrong. There is visual storytelling here going on, but also there's some moments where they may or may not be running down a street after something may or may not have exploded. And I just don't feel any urgency in the way the film is presenting the movie and that story.
in
and
that
the way the
moment,
framing is.
Were you talking about the camera is following Leo at that point?
No, it doesn't, because I made a big stink about how the camera doesn't move at all. I was just like, I'll put it like this. He walks out of the house, and then the camera turns on the tripod to like do the whole thing behind his back and overlook the destruction of whatever. But there is no like running out of the house or like
Well,
following.
there's the
through
point where he
as,
somberly
like,
walks.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
say
but-
where they have it from his perspective.
Yeah, but I'm saying like they're the electricity you should feel during that moment, that intensity was
But
not
that's
there.
the thing
But
is
you
you're
don't-
experiencing it from everybody else's perspective. From Leo's character's perspective,
He knew what's gonna
he's
happen.
almost in shell shock of I did this, I coordinated this, and he's
Also, the
like,
fact that his wife just came back from there.
that
Like,
was wild too.
Yeah.
But
So-
it's like that. It's more of like you don't. It was a good like tell don't show.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to like rush out and get. I didn't feel like you needed to like rush out and follow him and him run out there and figure everything out. It's like he knows what happened.
So
and
the
he's it's a somber moment almost.
the other thing that I will hear nothing on, because I went for like a 20-minute rant about this on the car ride home. Martin Scorsese's editing and his ADR has always been fucking trash. And in this movie, it's at an all-time low. There are lines that Robert De Niro speaks right in front of the camera that don't even
Yes,
come
I did
close
see that a
to
couple
syncing up with
times.
his lips. This is evident in The Wolf of Wall Street 2, where they'll do, a 180 cut between us talking. And when the camera's behind me, the mouth on the actor won't even be moving, but you'll be hearing something come out, and then they'll still be talking. It cuts to this camera, and their mouth isn't even moving, and they're finishing their last sentence. It is bad in this one. It's
Did
bad.
you guys have audio issues? Several times throughout the movie, I don't know if it was the theater that I was in, where you could hear when it would cut to, it was the guy with the big bushy mustache with all the kids. One scene in particular, it happened several times, but he's talking, and every time he speaks, you hear the background noise and
Oh,
crackle.
you heard like the attack
you,
basically.
yeah, you
yeah.
heard them fade his track up, and it was like not properly mixed, and it was only occasionally, but it was enough to the point where I was like, they fucked up.
Yes, yeah.
I didn't notice that in mine, but I believe you.
There's his audio hasn't ever.
There
been
was
great,
there was a
but-
lot of Robert De Niro moments.
Yeah.
Literally what you were saying, where it would be a shot from here, and I'd like his mouth would go like this, and it would say like, and I would be like,
I
Jesus,
know when
that's
it's bad. I know it's bad when Liz and her mom noticed.
Yeah.
Then they're like, when they said something, I was like, all right, it's noticeable
just me.
to the general audience. It is noticeable. So
There was some other like interesting choices for like how they portray like some things about death, and there's a lot of like artistic,
yeah,
like real artistic choices in this movie. I think with a lot of things,
not pretentious though.
not over.
know?
I mean, some of them felt, I don't want to say pretentious, but I felt like you were doing
Artsy?
very artsy, which was interesting to convey, like especially when they were burning down the house, or not burning down the house, the farm was on fire. There was a lot of like. There was a lot of
about like the in the windows.
yeah.
There's
There's a lot of like long shots that like almost feel very like Japanese in filmmaking style.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
That I thought was really interesting to put into it.
yeah.
Now I'm one of those people who's like, the perfect runtime for a movie is decided by how good the movie is when it's finished.
The Batman.
I think this is very good. However, they could have cut this down by at least 30 minutes. There's stuff they could have taken out, whether it was inserts here or where it was just some like, some self-serving like shots of the landscape or whatever. Like they could have, or just stuff between characters that didn't it inform their character, but maybe not so much the plot. Like there was stuff you could have cut out is basically what I'm getting to. I don't think this could have done a hack job where it goes down to 2 hours, but certainly at least like 20-30 minutes could have been taken out of this.
It's done a
without
real
doubt.
paint job.
Real
Yeah.
paint job all
Yeah.
over this one.
Well, I don't know if I agree or not, because it did start to feel like towards the end, I'm like, okay, let's wrap this thing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't feel like there was anything really that I would cut, because obviously this is an important story that needs to be told. What do you really cut of something like this?
I don't know what the actual fact is and what isn't. I'll wait for the guy that I watch on YouTube that does like, here's what really happened in this movie. It's called
Yeah,
History
Shane
Buffs.
Gillis.
Check it out. Yeah, or Shane Gillis. Yeah, to give me the rough outline. Definitely a It was interesting to see a movie where they portray the white supremacist killers as the sympathetic characters, and then it kind of flips on them at the end of the movie.
Going into this, before I saw anything, I just watching the trailers, I was like, oh, it's Leo's the white savior. There's going to be
Yeah.
another Dances with Wolves. I'm so glad that everybody comes out of this the other side looking just as terrible as they go into it.
I had the same thought. I was like, okay, it's going to be like a Romeo and Juliet with Leo being the white savior.
Especially the scenes in that trailer. In the trailer, the scene that we're talking about with the explosion, it is cut in a way in the trailer where it looks like when the explosion happens, Leo runs out and that's his turning point moment. Oh, fuck. I'm no longer with them. I'm with the Osage now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I totally hear what you're saying about that. And I did kind of think that it was going to be Leo's the good guy in the end, and it's a very real human character story. You know what I mean? Like there would be no dramatic turn. Like
it's just the facts as they are.
I did like the setup where he's like, yeah, my gut blew up over in the war and I can't lift shit, so I guess I'll be a driver. Like,
I did like
that's
that too.
That's a very human.
Yeah.
I got a colostomy bag now.
yeah, right.
So let's go into spoilers then. We'll
give it a rating.
We'll give it a rating first. We'll give it a rating.
Always in spoilers.
As per usual, I can't believe we're still talking about this on the last episode. We give the rating, we do the money, and then we do spoilers. You know.
Well, then
130 episodes. We've done it this way.
129.
No, this is 130.
Yeah, this will be 100.
Okay. Anyway, so I would give this
Technically correct.
I would truthfully I'd give this like an 8 out of 10. I didn't like the very end of the movie.
That's shocking to me.
Not enough for me. Like it's one of those things where like I get what they're going for, but I would have just liked you to finish it. You know what I mean? Finish it like a fucking movie. Don't try to give me a fuck. Don't make me feel guilty about this later on. I didn't do anything wrong.
That's not what it is at all.
The second thing is the editing and the ADR just took me out of it in some scenes. Just took me right out of it. Like where I'd be locked into something and then just Robert De Niro's obviously going on about his ex-wife and they just put fucking words over it. They used AI.
Some of the editing, like specifically the audio, I would take points away, but 9.5 at the lowest, I think is what I would give it.
I'm going to give it an 8.5. I do think that pacing wise, there's an interesting way that they used the soundtrack of this movie and music to underscore a lot of it that made the pacing feel very, I don't want to say sluggish, but kind of just like almost monotonous at some points. Mm-hmm. And I think to Pat's point,
it does cover quite a few years.
Sure.
Yeah.
Almost a decade.
Yeah.
In the way of like, but I think that it doesn't feel like to me that there was very delineating time points.
Like chapters.
Yeah, which I think
again, that's real life.
for sure.
Yeah. Actually,
there
was, and I was surprised by that.
There were in some ways,
very
but
Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, I would have liked a little bit more of like, I did find sometimes like being 2 or 3 minutes into a scene and being like, okay, wait, we're here now.
Yeah.
So I think just like a little bit more. I wanted a little more hand holding, especially for a story where I was like, I really want to pay attention to the story.
There's a lot of details and it's sprawling.
And it's an important story.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's something that's not action driven either, where you're like frequently seeing an action occur a lot of the time. So I would have liked a bit more hand holding, but
fair enough.
I understand that it's Scorsese and it's high film.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no.
Elizabeth?
She's like, I hated it.
No, I really enjoyed this movie. It was just so long, but like I don't know where you could cut. Like you can't cut anything out.
Exactly.
And there were
which is a valid argument to be like, I want it to be shorter, but I don't know what you'd get rid of.
Yeah, and it wasn't like I was like, oh my God, get me the hell out of this theater. I was just like, I want to be able to like get up and walk around. Like I would.
What time did you guys go see it?
7 o'clock.
We could
6
only
p.m.
get a 7 o'clock.
It was like
sucked
7 or
ass.
8
When it's
o'clock.
Well,
7:30.
I'm not getting out of here until at least 11, so I might as well enjoy it.
Honestly, I think this is a movie I would have benefited from not seeing it in the theater.
Seeing a matinee.
No, I think I would have enjoyed watching it at home.
Dude,
to be completely honest,
The Hateful Eight by
I'm
Quentin
with you.
Tarantino. They put out the extended version, the 4-hour version, and then they chopped it up into 4 different parts and put that on Netflix. Watching it that way was way more enjoyable. Being able to break it up and digest the story as you go was a lot easier for me than tanking the whole thing.
This
at once.
could have been, I think, Liz. That's like in a similar vein. This could have been a really good 4-part HBO series.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
short, like a limited
Miniseries.
series
Well,
would have been like
funny
real nice.
that you guys. What's your number before I do this bit?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Okay,
So we got an 8,
think
8.5, 9, and a 9.5. So
we call it a 9.
call it a 9. Yeah.
It's about a 9.
Okay, so let's talk money. Let's talk money.
75.
This cost $200 million to make.
Damn.
Domestically,
How
it
much
made
of that went to De Niro and DiCaprio?
Oh, I have no idea.
A quarter of it, probably.
The domestic, this made 23 million. Internationally, it made 21 million. So altogether, it made 44 million. Now, if this was a Marty movie made 10 years ago, this would
Marty McFly.
Marty McFly. If Marty McFly was. The shots are all like this. No, so if
Come on, man.
it's the last episode. I'm getting wallet.
We got stabilizers. now. You're good.
Gutters. What was the other one that we do? I was thinking about these.
Goodwill Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting.
That came up
The
pretty
government
organically.
are all Nazis.
Son of Mailman.
So yeah, Son of Mailman. So anyway, worldwide total 44 million. This
You
movie.
think it's got legs?
This movie. Listen, I'm sorry to
No.
say this. Martin Scorsese obviously is one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. There's no question about it. However, he can't make $200 million movies. He does not have the pull for $200 million
It's
movies.
not even that. It's just that.
No,
this
he
is-
doesn't have the pull. None of his other movies. His movies only started costing this much when the streamers were like, "We'll give you anything we want."
That's
Like,
fair. But a 4-hour dour movie that's like history and like
History,
this is,
politics,
It's an
like-
educational movie. Like that's not a popcorn flick where you're
I
gonna
was
get
very
asses in
surprised
seats.
at his age, his ability to understand like the material and racial implications of the time period and to tell that story in 2023. I'll say that. But the thing is that so I think I've told the story on here before. If not, we're wrapping up the last episode with it. So in around sometime 2018, 2017, right before he wanted to do The Irishman, he was at like the BAFTA like nominations or whatever, and he got shit faced. Now, I heard this story through the Weekly Planet, and somebody told them it. It was like a non-press event, and basically, Martin Scorsese had brought The Irishman to every studio in town, and they were giving him his normal budgets: 30 million, 40 million. The most we'll give you is 50 million. He needed 200 for the special effects because he wouldn't just cast younger actors. He wanted to work with all his friends, and he had never worked with Al Pacino up until that point either, which I didn't know. I figured they would have crossed paths at some point, but
yeah.
no. So Netflix was nice enough to throw him $200 million. Well, the thing is that if he wanted $200 million, he needed a recognizable IP. And that's when right around when he got told that is when he started taking the piss out of superhero movies.
Right.
So you can see why he feels, because nobody wants to invest. It's show business, not show friends, right? So Marty might be your good friend at the top of, Universal executives or whatever, but they're not giving him $200 million if his movie's not going to make it. Streamers, on the other hand, they don't give a fuck.
They've never made money.
They've never made money, so why start today?
Exactly.
So for The Irishman, they gave him $200 million. He got 3 weeks in theaters, and that did make $200 million, but it made some money, and then it went straight to Netflix, and that's how we watched. We watched it in 2 parts actually, and then same thing with this. Apple gave him $200 million, and now he's got a full month long run in theaters to make as much money as possible. Then it goes straight to the scene, and not like time in between. I mean, the day it leaves theaters is the day that it goes on Apple TV.
There's no overlap.
There's
for it?
no overlap at all.
Oh. That's not good.
What?
It's not gonna make any money.
Well, that's the thing is that Apple
give
Apple
a
and
shit.
Amazon just switched to this model within the last 6 months. So they don't care anymore. Like now it's like, let's make what money we can on these things, and then
Apple's
and then
fine.
it's just going right on the
But I wonder
streaming
what
service.
the philosophy is. Is it like, do we want to be able to finance a great film by a great filmmaker and have that in our catalog?
Yeah,
Like,
it's weird
what
because
is
it's
the
almost
rationale?
Martin
philanthropic.
Scorsese.
Yeah, almost.
Yes. Martin Scorsese, yes. Quentin Tarantino wants to do a TV show when he's done. What these streamers
Star
will throw
Trek.
will throw hundreds.
Star Trek.
Quentin Tarantino will get hundreds of millions of dollars to do anything that he wants,
Even if it doesn't make a fucking
even if
dime.
it doesn't make a dime.
Yeah, but
because
why?
Because it goes on the catalog. That means your subscriber base, right? Like we went through all of our streaming things, and I had a hard time being like, all right, get rid of Hulu. I guess I won't watch Sons of Anarchy. I was like, all right, get rid of this. I won't watch this show. And then we stopped at Netflix, HBO Max, and Disney Plus
And
pretty
Peacock.
much, right?
So the only one we actually officially got rid of is Paramount Plus.
Yeah, it's Paramount Plus is what it came.
Come on.
All of them we either went down to like
Just get
the
the
ad
free
tier
version, yeah.
programs or the free ones.
Yeah.
Like
Because most of them we have
like HBO
bundled.
Max, I still kept premium because it's HBO. I don't want commercials anyway. Same
And you
thing.
want to watch Honey Boo Boo.
Exactly. Exactly. But like it's it's the access to the pipeline of content. Like Killers of the Flower Moon will not have a 4K release. You won't get it in some box set collection. It will only be available on Apple TV. And if it's a Martin Scorsese movie and it's only available on your platform, to Apple, the company that's worth over $1 trillion, 200 million for that to be on the board ain't anything. You know what I mean?
Every film college is going to need an Apple TV subscription at this point. Like,
exactly. Every college dorm room in the world will have an Apple TV
Oh, yeah.
subscription. So that's basically the
That's
philosophy
the world
here.
we're living in now.
So yeah, if you think about this like a conventional release, it tanked, it's gonna tank, and it's gonna continue to fall off a cliff. If you're looking at this like this is just a fun, you can
an
see this in
investment.
theaters if you want to, or in a couple weeks you can just watch it at home. If you look at it like that, it's a six by all like going from we're not going to make any money to we already made 44 million. It's a success on all
it's an
fronts.
absolute success.
I see nothing but absolute success in our future.
I wonder how that math works out. Like, so you have all these things in your catalog. How do you quantify this one thing in being in your catalog? How do you how do you ever say, okay, this is a thing that is of value to us?
See, I think
Watch time.
I think there's only going to be like the amount
Why
of
do you
people
think they're
watching
dragging
it.
their
But I
feet
mean,
on Stranger
watch
Things?
time. But there's also things like, like how do you quantify it that when you guys go through your streaming apps? I want to be able to watch that. I like even if you don't watch it. But
How
there's
much I
certain-
like that show.
Yeah, but
How do you quantify
Nick's
that?
talking about like qualitative versus quantitative.
Like,
and
how
I
do-
don't think you can, and that's the reason why streaming services don't make money.
No, I
Yeah.
do think they can, and that's quite the opposite. I think in the streaming eyes, their data is it's not just how long you're watching it; it's how many people are watching it. Like there is it ain't a coincidence that Stranger Things has taken this fucking long to get out there. Like I get the strike and everything, but like you saw what happened to HBO when Game of Thrones ended. More than 50% of their subscriptions just fell off a fucking cliff.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're
There's
done
gonna
here.
be some people who are like, I need to keep Netflix because I
I
love
wanna
Stranger Things and I want to continue
But how
to
does that work
rewatch
for
it.
a movie?
But not 90%,
That's what
but
I'm-
the majority of the audience is gonna watch it once and then
How
turn
But
it
does
off.
that
here's
work
the
for a
thing:
movie, a
Game of
standalone?
Thrones and Stranger Things. These are things that you can.
Less of a
make-
commitment.
These are things that you can monetize in many other fashions. Like,
Yeah.
video games or action
You're
figures.
not gonna get Killers of the Flower Moon action figures.
Yeah, you're
All
gonna get
19 inches of Killers of the Flower
Of
Moon.
Leonardo.
Of Leonardo. Of
gonna get-
Ernest.
of Ernest.
You're gonna get it's just like a little Lego set where like people's head brains are falling out of the
Yeah.
back. Like
You get the Osage murder set if you want.
Yeah.
Like,
you get the deluxe edition if you pre-order.
What was
just
the
get
name of the
one-
guy who went to Washington?
comes with the
Barney.
removable face of her sister.
Jeez.
All right, so let's talk about the actual movie. Yeah, so it took me 45 minutes into it to realize that Leo was not being manipulated, that he's actually in on it. Because I thought as
I think
soon
it took Ernest that long to
Yeah,
figure it out.
exactly.
as well.
he's
Exactly.
just a henchman.
Am I
That's all.
complacent in these murders? And then
Well, he took a step.
well, there was a couple things where they show you the people getting killed, but they don't show you who's doing the killing. And then later on in the film, it goes back and it showcases you that, oh shit, Ernest is directly tied to 90% of this.
Does he ever do any actual killing? Oh,
yeah,
the
they
fucking
stabbed the guy out the
detective.
No,
and
that's
they
not-
stabbed the guy out. Yeah, they went back and they show you that him and whoever stabbed the guy walking outside of the bar. They put the fucking bombs in the house.
No,
Ernest
no.
didn't place the
No,
bombs
no.
in
He
the house.
didn't. Ernest didn't do a lot of actual killing.
No, that's why
Hold on,
Ernest got
hold on.
arrested.
No.
Ernest got
Well,
arrested as a accomplice,
an
an
accessory.
accessory to most of these things. He was basically the guy that was like, "Okay, Uncle, I'm gonna go tell this guy to do this."
It's got to be taken care of now.
Yeah,
right now.
he was a henchman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
is what he
I'm not
was.
playing around.
I'm not playing around.
Gotta be doing it. Gotta be doing it now.
Yeah, I think the only person he actually
Yabba dabba do.
Gotta be doing it. Gotta be doing it.
What is it like?
Who's that fucking? What character? Donnie. Yeah.
Donnie and Boomhauer.
Yeah,
like,
Boomhauer.
yeah, but then it's like,
So-
I'm gonna kill
Hey,
that.
guys.
I'm gonna blow up that house. That's my wife.
So, all right, let's go through it. What did Ernest actually do? He killed the private investigator.
He didn't. The private investigator. Did he kill him?
He did.
I didn't know if he died or not. I
yes,
thought.
they paid
He
paid
skipped
him.
town.
Yeah, and he skipped. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
I know.
they talk
He
about.
beat him over the head.
He's dead.
He's dead.
Okay. He's
Yeah.
Who's the guy outside of the bar that they stabbed that we're talking about?
No, Pat's talking about the guy who went to Washington that got
Oh,
stabbed. That was
people in Washington that they hired. I
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Separate people.
Hale and Ernest were arrested for being directly involved with the murders of 3 people, which was the only people
Being
they
directly
can prove.
involved doesn't mean that you actually physically did
the
it.
reason, no, that's what I'm saying is that 3 of these people Ernest directly had a hand in murdering, whether
Right.
he was there or he actually like the guy coming out of the bar that he stabbed or the detective.
I don't know what bar you're talking about.
It might not be a bar. There was
I think
there was
he's
a
talking-
scene early on in the movie where the guy walks out.
like they tap
and
on their shoulder,
yeah,
like,
and they
oh,
stab the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
Later on, they show that scene again when they're going through what Ernest is being accused of, and he turns and looks, and his face is shown from the like underneath the brim of the hat. So he definitely did that one, because then right after that one, they show you him kneeling down after he beat up the detective. The other thing too is I don't know if it's in the movie, but he did help kill Rita as well.
Oh, yeah, he wasn't there in the movie.
Yeah.
It was Blackie and
and,
the
DC.
brother.
What a name, by the way. What a
He's got
name.
jet black
I
hair.
know, it's just funny.
Also, the guy who played his brother was David
guy
from Last of Us.
Yeah. Byron.
Yeah, I saw him.
Byron.
I saw him come in, and I was like, "Oh, it'll be interesting to see him not play an evil character." And I was like, "Never mind,
Never mind.
Wrong again.
wrong
Wrong
again.
again.
I'm too drunk. She's got to drive him home."
From the front of the head, not the back of the.
I told him, I swear on my kids.
But okay, now don't be
No,
swearing on
don't
them
be swearing
kids.
on your kids now. All right. Like I love when he wears the fucking goggles.
Yeah.
Goddamn
Yeah.
pilot. Yeah.
I also love when they whenever he conveniently leaves town.
Oh yeah,
you
we're
know?
going to Texas for the rodeo.
Yeah. I said, look at me like you understand what I'm saying.
That was such a good line.
Yeah. Yeah, they're great in this. But
Did you see the? I saw some story on Reddit that
I
was
know what you're talking
basically Leo would improv and De Niro and Scorsese would basically be like, "You don't need to do that. Just say the lines that we wrote."
Yeah, they'd be like, "That doesn't need to be said."
what? I'm just in character. Leo, there's no reason to shit your pants on set either. You're just, hey man, Ernest is wearing dappers.
Ernest ain't Ernest.
So it's just like specific. Like there's nothing like specifically that I can be like, oh, a point to and be like, this didn't make sense or this, because there's some sort of implication here where even Ernest isn't even sure if how involved he is with this, because they even say in his interrogation that Hale took advantage of his disposition, which I think in the movie, because he's played by Leo, it's not as effective at communicating just how
Well, you
I
know,
don't- I
we-
how
disagree.
mentally
we saw what
behind
he's-
he
we-
was
guys,
in real
we-
life.
Guys, we saw What's Eating Gilbert Grape, so you know.
but I'm saying
just
that.
imagine that kind of.
but I'm saying.
here's Gilbert growing up.
But I'm saying on a certain
Wait,
level,
no, it's Gilbert.
Gilbert Gottfried.
It's Gilbert Gottfried. Who plays Gilbert in the movie? Is that Johnny Depp or is that Leo?
No, Leo's Gilbert.
Leo, yeah, and Johnny Depp.
Johnny
is the
Depp's the
brother.
older brother.
I don't know.
But
Goober Grape.
Goobert.
But I'm saying that in this film they had to sympathize the character more, so they do have to up his.
So they made him do this
Yeah, they have to up his understanding a little.
and his underbite.
His comprehension skills have to be propped up a bit. Whereas in real life, I don't really think he had. He was very much the Quasimodo of his era. Let's
I
put
don't
it
know.
like that.
I guess
You
you
know?
have to read the book.
They have Molly call him dumb. She's like, yeah, he's not that smart.
But he is handsome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he's not supposed to be smart in any of this. It's just I think there's
That
a
doesn't mean he's necessarily got a learning disability.
I think
He
what
absolutely does.
yeah,
In the
I can
movie.
read. I can read. I think what Pat's saying is that there is a level of
He
that
has to clarify that he can read, like,
What
Well,
you're
so does
what,
Leah Michelle. So
which she still hasn't, by the way.
what you're saying is that like Leo is being played as well.
Yeah.
He's not,
Yeah.
fully in on all of it.
He's
like,
being played, but he also knows to some degree that what they're doing is criminal.
well,
Why-
no, he knows a lot what's criminal because they're robbing people and killing people, but
Well-
he's also like, no, I'm doing a lot of this out of my own volition, and I love her, and I did this, and he wasn't really realize that was orchestrated.
Well,
to do all
no,
of that.
I do believe on some level he has a sense of guilt about everything because when he's slowly poisoning her with the insulin at one point,
He drinks
drinks it himself
Oh, and
because
tries
he
to kill
feels so much
himself.
fucking guilt over
Yeah.
it. So I
Do you think when he first started putting this shit in the insulin, did he know that he was poisoning her, or did he actually take it on their word that it's
He took it on-
slowing her down?
He took it on their word.
I
as-
didn't
well
because I looked at Liz and I go, "Oh, he's poisoning her like that."
my face. This is just me. I literally like slowly
Oh, poor
turned. I
Pat.
was like, yes, Pat, it's poison.
because
This,
I
you know what
couldn't-
this means? That if we wanted to convince
could
Pat
have
to
done
kill
this, yeah.
somebody, we could.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was like he was like they gave like here like this will supercharge the insulin or something.
No.
But then when I saw him drink it, that's when I realized
It was
Oh.
it was basically like at first I think he was like, "Oh, okay, I'm adding this to her medicine and it will basically make her like just
More
kind of
mellow.
docile. Like,
Yeah.
she's a woman, she's hysterical, let's mellow her out." Like
They wanted to stop her like after she got back from Washington. They were like, all right, we got to do
Yeah.
something about this.
they were like
Yeah.
loud women, no.
but they couldn't
effectively.
they couldn't outright kill her because that would have been too
No. So
Not-
they're like
not
we'll,
yet.
they're like
Not
we'll
yet,
keep
yeah.
her bedridden, we'll keep her basically hallucinated.
they're my
hallucinated.
aunts.
They're
My aunts.
The way the sister got murdered was brutal.
Which one?
Which
yeah, I was
one?
gonna say which
In
one.
in the ravine.
Which one was the ravine
That was
one?
the one that,
That was
shot him in the
Anna.
head.
That was that mouthy lady. I'm kidding.
No, but they do call her that.
They do. They're
she's
mean to
she's
her.
a drunk and mouthy.
That
Yeah.
was, but what was the first one? The one in the river? What
Yes.
was the one in the river
so,
that they
So
shot?
first, her sister, oh, I can't remember her name, dies.
She dies of the wasting sickness.
Yes.
She just, which I'm
Oh
assuming
yes,
is
the wasting sickness. Probably
just
poisoning
diabetes?
as well.
I think it's just diabetes.
Yeah.
And then Anna is the one that gets
Anna
shot in the
gets-
face by,
Byron.
yes, and
Byron.
Kelsey Morrison.
Yeah.
Kelsey, not Blackie. That's right.
Yeah.
And then,
And then the other sister,
Rita
gets
and
blown
her
up.
her husband, who also was married to Anna.
They're still finding pieces of her
Of
in the
the
house. Dude,
Outside the house.
I love the way they talk. We have lost count of our
All right,
dead.
Pat, we're cutting you
It's-
off there.
It's so I love the way they talk.
End of
It's
this
awesome.
episode.
It's awesome.
Because it is a good mix of
It
like
is
a
a good-
Midwestern accent plus like a Native American
Yeah, well, at
accent.
that time, it would have. I mean, they were even saying themselves, like, our children will grow up with the white man's customs. Like, I was like, I love how it's like you understand their plight where they're not caricatures. Like, dude, I was saying the same thing about Book of Mormon, where they're not caricatures. They're real characters that you understand their plight. However, they didn't like. They stayed true to the period where it was at this time where, like, the United States was taking their fucking land all the time and slaughtering them left and right, and there was no investigations. So their cultures were blending, but not like a melting pot. It was forced upon. Like your way of life is over. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you feel that plight. You feel that they're actual characters.
The boarding schools and everything
Yeah.
that they set up.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
That shit's nuts.
It's fucking
Well,
crazy.
that's what they talk about. They're going to the white man's school.
Well,
now.
when you, I forget what fucking, I literally just read I just watched a video about there's a period in history after I think like the Civil War to like pretty much World War One that we just don't ever cover, and it's pretty much all. I'm
this.
going to use the term growing pains
Yeah.
that America went through to
it's
get
called
where it's at.
Reconstruction, is what they actually properly call it.
Trail of Tears, pretty
Yeah.
much like.
We like that Leo does a Native American call when he's yelling at his wife.
That
That got a couple laughs in the theater. People being like, "Oh, okay, they're
There were
doing
quite
that."
I was
Yeah.
surprised there was quite a few moments where the audience vocalized their reaction.
yeah.
I think just some of the stuff that like goes on is just like so outlandish. Like you know it happens, but like nobody wants to talk about it. So when you see it happening in a movie, it's almost not like you're laughing because it's funny. It's because you're like,
That
Uncomfortable.
awkward.
oh, I am so uncomfortable with this because if anybody did this in my presence and actually meant it, like I would be like petrified. I wouldn't want to talk to that person. Like get me out of here.
I'm trying to think what was the other. Oh,
When Brendan Fraser came on screen.
Brendan Fraser came
My
on.
client is my
I
client's.
And I saw people behind me like pointing like
Yeah.
I vocalized.
People-
I had a vocal
People
reaction.
were like,
I love the fact that 35-year-old Jesse Plemons is walking around calling the 47-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio
Kid.
son,
Yeah.
kid, boy,
Oh,
just
he
sunning
he
him,
sunned him so
sun him the
fucking
whole
hard.
fucking movie. I'm like, it's weird that Jesse Plemons does look older than 47-year-old Leo, but then again, that's what makes Leo special, the eternal youth. You know,
25 forever.
No, don't turn
Don't turn-
25. Ha ha, you're so cute. Ha ha, don't be 26.
And bringing it back to Spider-Man, he's married to Kirsten Dunst, who is 41.
There you go.
Jesse Plemons? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Good for him.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
Good for him. Yeah,
Good-
it all
good for
worked out
both
in the
of them.
end. Yeah.
They got married last year, so we'll see.
Even better for him.
When
recent.
Leo was wailing on the floor after they killed his kid,
Well, his kid just died.
I
of
didn't
whooping
think-
cough.
There's the one person in this movie who didn't get murdered.
no,
consumption.
murdered by whooping
Yeah.
cough. Murder by whoop. There it is. Anyway, when he was crying on the floor, I was like, damn, he's giving a good performance, but also like, come on, get up, man.
She's
You-
with the Lord
you out
now.
here. You out here. She's in a better place. She's
What
in a better
about
place.
what
It's
about
like-
Robert De Niro speaking a lot of like Native American
That was
Osage
great.
languages?
That's great.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like how much time did he need to
That's
learn?
what I was wondering. Like
There was a lot.
he gave full on like monologues.
Well,
in.
So
there's
did Leo. Leo had like a really good
It was
vocabulary.
like here and there though.
when you're
Yeah.
paid tens of millions of dollars to speak another language, you're gonna figure they're gonna get you the best that they can. Of
course.
you know. But the other thing is too is that
it's like Chris Pratt's transformation, but with a dialect.
Yeah, yeah. Well, one of the things is that they also, you also have to run lines as an actor, right? So for them, I don't know if it's provided to them through the studio or it's provided to them through an outside service, but like somebody records the other actor's dialogue so you can just, practice yourself pretty much, or the other actors in the scene. So like you're in your trailer, you press play. You hear what Leo says to you, then you say your dialogue, and it keeps the flow of the scene so you understand what's going on. And I couldn't imagine how fucking agonizing it must have been to do that with all of the Native American dialect. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
God damn it, Mike.
I'm so sorry.
God damn it, Ricky Bobby. It's the jack. If you
I know,
hold,
I'm
yeah,
trying to like.
yeah, you hold it by the big cylinder.
All 19 inches.
So all 19 inches.
All 19 inches.
I'll get it out again. Don't.
Don't you dare.
So
We're soaking.
God, why did soaking have to come up on the final episode?
You did
You
this.
soak a full 19 inches. God
because I saw
damn.
Book of Mormon. So yeah. Either way, this was
Great movie.
this was good. But let's talk about the ending real quick. So
Oh, how wrong you are.
no, incorrect.
So we get
The final scene of the film that takes place in the time period that we've watched this whole movie in is,
The best
I
scene
think,
in
the best
movie.
scene, the most powerful scene in the whole movie, where she asks him what was in my insulin.
Well, even before that, it's the first time she's seen him since he testified in court and, was honest about everything that he did.
and she was happy when he was honest. Like there was the whole point beforehand where he was telling her that, you know, like King, you know, I like they beat me up. I'm telling the truth about King, and like she's not happy with him because she knows it's a lie, and she almost doesn't care if he's lying or not. She just literally wants him to be honest, basically. Like I feel like that's the thing that like, as long as he's honest with her, I think the whole part of that is she's like, okay, I still have him, who he is, but then, and
yeah. So she asked him a few questions. You know, were you honest? Did you tell all the truth? He said yes, and then she finally asked him, "What did you put in my insulin?" And he lies, and then she just gets
but
up
he
and walks
breaks.
away.
Oh God,
Both of their acting in that scene is phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah, in that scene I was like, damn, you ain't getting out of that one.
Yeah.
You can't lie to her.
but he did, and he did.
I mean, he never really answered her though.
No, he did. He just said insulin.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and then he looks at Jesse Plemons, and Jesse Plemons is like, I don't know, I was in the Jungle Book before this.
The Jungle Cruise.
There we go, that's the one.
He was,
Help, the rock is made out of seaweed.
Yeah.
Aquaman 2.
So after that, then we go into an epilogue.
Well, it's
And-
a transition. It's a slow transition into a radio play.
Yes.
It does not signify that we're doing an epilogue. It does not. There's no chat. Remember, there's been chapters this whole fucking
There
movie.
have not really been chapters.
Yeah, the whole vignette drop. They had a whole fucking
I wouldn't
title and shit. Like that's
those-
the introduction of a chapter.
I disagree. Because a lot of those were actually diegetic.
Yeah.
Like they were at the movie theater watching those, like film reels. A lot of those,
I think, like,
a lot
once-
of those interstitials were actually in the movie.
It actually reminded me a lot of The Creator because The Creator told
Yeah.
its story in chapters as well.
But again, it's like you can break it up into chapters. But this is, you know, like they cut to like I don't know if it's archival or if it's partially archival.
There's
It's both.
some
Yeah.
because
But it's not
I get what you're saying.
breaking
though.
it up into chapters. It's showing you like from film reel perspective of what's going on, and then they just tell you where you are and like how much later it is.
I couldn't tell.
It's not like it's like
It's not a Quentin
Ernest,
Tarantino. Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
I couldn't
Kill
Molly.
them all.
I couldn't tell if they had just taken those images and then or computer generated those images, the one with that Lily and her like family are standing in, because you know they look like real photos from back then. Or like they were real photos that they just CGI'd her face on someone. Either way, it looked really good. That's
Yeah.
my point. So I couldn't.
Well, they
tell.
could have done like because those are tin type photos.
Yeah.
They could have just
They
done
could've
a
just
new
done-
one and
took 'em,
stuck it
yeah.
in with the rest.
That's exactly what I'm saying though, is that like it's straight up a real light emission. Like
Yeah.
they're literally capturing light and
Yeah.
putting it on paper.
Yep.
Like so it's not something that's easily morphable, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's literally a moment in time captured. So
The radio play.
yeah, so the radio play. Now, it's not that I hate the idea of going into a okay, I'll just cut right to the chase. It's a lesson on like fucking what the fuck is it called? Like crime drama, like how people are now using past generations' trauma as their source of entertainment. And how these stories, no matter how serious they are or how racially charged they are or how much they influence our society, the people around us, ultimately nobody gives a fuck. After a
That's
while,
not
I
what
did not
walk
get
and
away-
that
that
at
you
all.
and that this is now someone's pain is now someone else's entertainment. That's
That's-
exactly what I saw
That's
the
an
whole
interesting
time.
interpretation.
And
I'll
the
have
whole
to
thing,
think
I was
more
just
on it.
like, I don't hate the idea. I don't hate the execution. I just don't love the fact that I don't see what happened after Ernest.
didn't
like-
do it-
Can I propose an alternate take on that?
Yeah.
That is an interesting interpretation that I didn't even think about, which I'll have to think
I live with
further.
her, bro.
That's
She's
true.
all about this shit. And I'm like, yo,
Hold on.
I don't care about the Lindbergh baby. It got its skull crushed. Why do you want
Hold
to hear
on.
about that?
So for me, what makes more sense? To have this scene that wraps everything up nicely and encapsulates the message of, even though these men were eventually punished, Ernest gets out of jail. There's never any real restitution for any of this
yes.
shit.
Restitution's a better way to put it. Not
So-
conflict resolution.
Right. So, or do you show Hale going to jail, then getting and Ernest going to jail, and then living in a trailer with his brother and dragging the movie out for another 45 minutes, when you could literally say the movie is over when Ernest and Molly's relationship is over.
Yeah.
Everything else doesn't matter, and it's like you get the epilogue.
Yes.
I don't think there's any point in showing any of the stuff that they covered in the radio play in the movie.
That's
I
a fair.
agree.
That's a fair honestly, that's a fair interpretation. But the other thing is, I think about movies like American Gangster, where there is where the characters end up go to jail, and then there's a time jump when they get out, and like for instance, Frank Lucas,
How long is that movie?
like almost 3 hours as well.
American Gangster?
American Gangster, yeah.
This movie's over 3 hours.
I get it's only an extra 20 minutes though. But I mean, look, that's not the point. My point is that when that movie, you see the time, like he goes to prison, you see the time jump, he gets out, and the end of the movie is not him like figuring out the rest of his life. It's just like, well, that happened. Like, what do I do now? Like that sense of the story really did complete itself. Like it's really over now. And I get what you're saying, that the crux of the film really is the relationship between Leo and Lily. No, between
Ernest.
fucking
Ernest and Molly.
Lenny and
Kravitz.
and
Lenny and Kravitz.
Lenny and Kravitz. But yeah, I was just so ready to see like the fallout from like even just like a quick montage of them, like, because I think they said they move up north of Osage Land and they just live out there. Like Ernest gets another wife, he has a couple kids, and
Ernest
it's him and he lives in a trailer with his brother north of the county because they can't go back into the county.
Yeah, but
although King Hale does end up, he's like banned from
does.
it, but he frequently visits and shit.
yeah, but you even said to me that he did end up getting another wife.
They don't say that in the movie.
No, she remarries.
Oh, that's what it was.
she remarries.
Okay,
But I don't know. I took it as it's like, yes, it's like the relationship between Ernest and Molly is the crux of the movie, and that's everything. So when it's like, when that's over, the storytelling of the movie is over. And I liked the fact that it comes in and it does almost this radio play performance of it to almost signal like, you know, it does signal like it's like kind of what you said, where it's like, yes, it's just entertainment in a way. Or it's almost like being like the weight of
someone
it is
else's
used.
tragedy is your daily podcast.
The weight of it is used in
Yeah.
that. I don't think it meant to do it in that way for a fact, but I think it meant to take it as like, look, like everything that's happened with the Native Americans and everything is like, it's kind of
trivialized.
It's trivialized. Yeah, it's been very trivialized, and it's like, it's been a way to also then we have Martin Scorsese actually come in and read
and
what
look
is,
down the barrel of the camera.
Read the
You kids want to see my Willie? Like that's like, whoa, Marty.
he reads the obituary for Molly to
Yeah.
kind of like summarize everything up, and I think it gives a level of almost like he's, you know, eulogizing it,
Yeah.
the movie in its entirety by
What was
doing
the
that.
one character they don't even mention in the epilogue though? There's one character that they specifically left out the fate of, and I can't remember who it was because it was so. There. Fuck, I can't remember his name.
Jesse Plemons?
No, not Jesse Plemons. There's somebody who, one of her family member. Oh, I think it might have even been the grandmother or the
Lizzie?
mother. Somebody who is integral to the family bloodline dies. That like part of the reason why all these events even happen. They don't even mention in that scene, and that's supposed to hammer home that like you don't even understand. Like you as the listener of this radio play, even though you have all of the motivations and the justifications for all these characters' actions, you truly don't even understand why these things even took place because a bunch of white dudes who own a radio tower were like, let's tell this story. Like that's
Even
the
details are
implication.
being left
Yeah,
out.
and even like the true song of these people will never really be sung because it's being told from the eyes of the guys who are on the same team. You know what I mean?
Which is why then Martin Scorsese comes in and tells that, because
Yeah,
it's him
reads her obituary.
him correcting that.
Yeah, which I don't know if they did that in the book.
We'd have to ask my mom.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No.
Did
Get in
you
here,
did you
goddammit.
did you know that it was like going to be a radio thing at the end? Did you have like any assumption?
No.
Because it was halfway through, and Pat thinks that this is just like a Martin Scorsese issue.
I think it's just bad ADR,
yeah,
but
so-
she picked up on something that I haven't even seen anyone else online say.
I guess it was like halfway through. I don't remember exactly who was talking or really what was going on. I know that they were like showing kind of like an overshot of like a road somewhere. And the guy is talking and it sounds like his voice, but it also just sounded like a recording. And I literally took that. I was like, oh, so we're listening to this from like the future.
Oh.
There was a point
interesting.
where I like knew. I was just like, oh, I understand what's going on. somebody else is telling this story right now, and like we're just listening to the characters.
I feel like there's a lot we could all pick up on a rewatch. that
Yeah.
we
I
missed.
would
I'm
watch
definitely
this-
rewatching this again.
Yeah, once this is on
At home.
streaming,
In
I'm
about
gonna
a
watch
month.
it at
In about a
home,
month, yeah, I
Yeah.
will. You know, over Christmas, you're doing nothing but picking your ass. Why not watch
This
it?
was another one that another moment that felt very Wes Anderson to me as well, or specifically Asteroid City. Did you see that one?
No.
I haven't seen
I
that.
think-
Asteroid
all the
City,
cameos-
I
because you're, not-
do
you're not
want-
into Wes Anderson, right?
No, I like his. I like
well,
Wes
of
Anderson.
all of his movies, this is the one that you
Yeah?
should watch.
Did you like Isle of Dogs?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. If you like Isle of Dogs, you like Wes Anderson, so we're on the same page.
I don't think that's the one you judge
Anyway.
him off of, but
Life Aquatic,
the Life Aquatic is
love
the
that
one
one
that
too.
got me
All
into it.
right.
Anyway, so Asteroid City is about like the art of film and theater at the same time as telling the story. It's talking about, like theater in itself.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of cutaways to the actors playing the characters in the movie, talking about what it is to be the actor playing the character in the movie. So this felt very akin to that, where it's like all of a sudden we're whisked away into this radio play. So I don't know if there was any intentional nods to Wes Anderson,
Look.
but I felt it a few times throughout the movie.
Art is subjective, is it not? We
true.
could have
Fair
multiple interpretations of this scene. My whole thing was the sudden shift, the just like time to hit you with some fucking school notes, bitch. Like that's what it felt like.
So I don't have a problem with it. I have a friend who at one point, like, some songs, they'll have two sections that really have nothing to do with each other. And it's just like, wow, all of a sudden they hit you with this, string,
Let's dance.
like a string
Yeah.
section at the end of a rock song.
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't they just make it two songs? And I'm like, because it's one song.
Like, what's
and
wrong
they
with
just
you?
have two
it's
different
so
sections.
weird how we're talking about how you bring this up, because somebody the other day just said to me there should be no soft parts in metal music, and I was like, but that accentuates
makes the other
the
parts.
heavy
Yeah,
parts
do you not
good. Is it the
understand?
dynamics
Yeah.
How
The
of
build-up.
songwriting?
do you not
like,
understand how contrast works?
Besides
Like,
for
in
your
plain simple things?
chorus, no other parts of your song should sound exactly the same.
But at the end, I feel that way with this. It's like, just because it doesn't have the same tone as the rest of the movie doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it like it ruins the movie for me. It's just like he wanted to really wake the audience up and say, hey, look at this. So he shifted tones at the end.
I think it also, like really kind of like spiked the football in the way of, because
Yeah.
you could have just shown what
Ernest
happens
in the trailer.
what happens, and it kind of like that would have
Ernest
almost
in a
like by the
trailer.
fact of not paying any attention to what happens to them and not giving them like the justification or like, I don't want to say like victory of kind of like getting away with and being out and everything. It's
Yeah.
pretty much victory, but like they don't even get that justification. They don't get the win.
yeah.
So it's kind of like, look, I'm just going to tell you what happened, and I'm going to tell you
We're
where
not going to
things-
give them the time because it's no longer the story about the Osage. That's their story. Let somebody else tell it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, though, I think this film is an expert class in telling a story about racist murders and making you sympathize with the racists until you see the full picture and how much damage this is, and like
Maybe not
and
even
like,
sympathize, but
it's-
like you think that they're protagonists. They're the good guys.
But it's it's one of those things where like when you listen to the way Robert De Niro's character talks, it's like, oh, these are all dog whistles. He's just feeding this
Yeah.
guy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he mentions bloodlines. He mentions like he's got a superiority complex to.
Oh, you
the
like
Osage
women? You like
Nation.
red women?
Yeah. Like I like mall women. This is my vice. Like you know.
So we better watch out for you.
like
You keep that
um,
shit wrapped over there.
Yeah. So like red like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so
Red like fire trucks. She's like, God, this kid is so fucking dumb.
the ambulances will have to wait their turn.
Liz, can you look up how old Ernest was actually when this was going on?
He had to be like
Well, he just got out of war, so I'm assuming he was in his
20,
20s.
maybe.
Somewhere in there.
Ernest
And
Hemingway.
he got sunned.
He did get sunned. Also, that's really funny that like you're having 45-year-old.
the actor who plays Ernest Buckhart should be in his early 30s, late 20s, mid 30s at the oldest. I would say Zac Efron or Jake Gyllenhaal, or Zac Efron's the perfect upper range, and Jake Gyllenhaal would be an actor that's too old. DiCaprio is 48. He's 20 years too old for the role. I mean, he's still good, and it makes sense with him up against De Niro. But then when you see him up against Jesse Plemons, like it's son.
It doesn't really take anything away, but it is interesting to know that the actual guy was probably in his 20s.
I wonder how that would have played off if it was a younger actor.
Yeah.
Like Goodfellas.
Well, that doesn't work because you need to have your big A-list
Well,
yes,
in this
movie.
yes.
But yeah, you're
I'm
right.
saying
It would have been.
What if it
was
like
Tom Holland.
It would have
it
been
already
like
felt like Goodfellas.
it would have been like Ray Liotta. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In Goodfellas, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you get Leo to play King.
I thought De Niro was. I mean, first
Just
of all,
age-wise.
Yes, age-wise.
De Niro is great.
De Niro's great, but also De Niro is he? I think he's in his 70s
He
now.
is. Oh,
He's 80.
He's 80, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's 80 years old. He would have been dead like 10 years before that. So like he actually is too old for his character too.
Oh, yeah.
Because that guy would have been in his late 50s, early 60s. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then he only would have had like days to live after
Just
turning
days.
Yeah. He says one spurt of diarrhea. Better get my affairs in order.
Well, that's it.
All right. So with that said, should we do the final clips of the week?
Oh God, I forgot. We have so many fucking
So many clips. So here's the thing. I was gonna put them all together in one compilation. However, exactly, I couldn't
Play
find
them all at the same time.
It's entirely possible.
How many people die at once?
So we're just gonna go through them though, one by one.
Liz, hit the
yeah,
button.
Yeah. Ready?
Oh yeah, it's the clip of the week. Oh, it's the clip of the week. It's the clip of the week.
I'm not deleting that though. I'm keeping that fucking song.
That's, I know, you should delete it.
That's
a real horse.
I love the music.
Yeah, the little polka in the background.
Oh shit, yo, it's.
The caption.
Dude, medieval times in Afghanistan is not a good time, it seems.
The title for this one was "This guy rode a horse into a restaurant."
That sure is what happened.
Just play the beginning one more time. I just love him falling on the table.
Oh shit.
Damn.
All right, that's enough of that.
Black
That's a
Beauty,
good
come
one.
back. All right. So this clip is titled "Apparently He Was Going for World's Slowest." Whatever that means. Ooh.
It's so dumb.
That one is pretty dumb.
That's just
You were in
good.
complete control of that
Yeah.
situation.
This one's called "Asking for It," and I think you can see why as soon as you see
Oh
the.
no!
Check the caption for the suggested weight limit. Oh, that's a child's
I
channel.
don't like this guy.
Oh.
He deserved it.
He was
Yeah,
asking. For
He was asking for it. This one's B-Day Biatch. Woo.
Oh, is this the one I put in?
I think so, yeah.
Show you how to turn up on your motherfucking birthday, bitch. Woo! Oh, damn, I just got in an accident and I gotta keep going, so I'm gonna call y'all a fuck back.
Better put it on TikTok, motherfuckers.
Oh my God!
This one's called "Can You Take Me Higher?"
Creed.
Can you take
Oh, no.
me higher?
Oh
Brown.
Oh no!
Oh no!
So
Can we play
that's-
that again and
yeah.
not talk over it? I gotta hear that.
I like that. Like after he after he's driven off and
Already
hit
off, yeah.
twice,
He's
That-
still
he's
he's
like-
still in recovery mode while in the
Yeah,
air.
that-
That
he's
was
like,
actually
"Oh,
just
no."
a live clip of Pat, Nick, and I playing PUBG and Nick driving the car off a cliff.
Well, I was thinking of you guys remember Austin Powers? I broke my leg.
It's very bad.
Let me look at the other one. Oh, that dude's also broken.
This one's got a long setup.
That's okay.
I didn't see this one. I didn't watch all of them, but oh, that's not good.
Some garbage men doing their jobs.
Oh, that lady's catching curb.
She's definitely.
Oh,
You know
shit!
what?
Hold on.
Looks like she deserves it. Look at
So-
that.
She's a
hair.
real estate agent.
Look
on
at
this
that
house
hair. Look
for
at that
sure.
haircut.
Oh yeah, she's Remax.
Oh,
Oh shit! Fucking.
Watch.
She's down.
She does
there
not
is
get
no
up.
sense of urgency.
Oh,
Dude, there's
she's
definitely
dead.
some racial slurs being thrown right now.
Oh, she
That Karen
died.
is pissed off.
She died.
Oh my!
And he's teabagging her. It's just like Halo.
Liz, your dad picked up that listing afterwards. It's like, sorry, I
Wait, but like
fucking
no one,
around becomes fucking you in particular. That's what that one's called. This one's called Imagine Being This Mad Over a Detour. Oh, dude, I saw this.
This was just this weekend.
Yeah. I saw this. Do you have the whole thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So I saw this and I purposely didn't send it to anyone because I was like, oh, this will be the one.
Yeah.
And then I saw it in yours. I was like, all right.
Kind of looks like Adam Sandler.
The Lloyd Center exit, the Convention Center exit, every motherfucking exit. You motherfucker.
Dude,
Oh.
he looks like he recorded this on the vertical plugin for OBS.
Yeah.
He set this up. He was like, "Get ready, I'm gonna drive through with 3 of my cameras."
But Mike, why is there a roadblock?
Oh, dude. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Oh, there's a marathon.
Look at his face. Look at his face. He like slowly
knows.
starts to realize what he's doing. Like right here. Like,
Oh shit!
I'm in trouble.
oh no. Like, the cop is like,
He don't care.
I am so impressed. He hasn't hit anything or anyone.
He don't give a fuck.
He just
Yeah.
barely missed those people sitting there.
He like went to stop and then was like, "Never mind." I'm
He's like, you know what? If I stop, I'm getting arrested.
Exactly.
This one is named It's Not a Tumor.
It's not a tumor.
I like the Instagram react.
Yeah, how much
on
shocked face? What? Oh.
Oh. Oh no.
it. Wait, why is that where it stops?
Honestly,
Is this from the subreddit gifts that end too soon?
No.
honestly, that's okay that it ends soon.
The fuck? Why won't it go away?
Guess we gotta watch it again.
He'd escape.
I'm trying to.
He'd
He's
escape.
not a fan.
He escape.
He escaped.
He
All right,
escaped?
this one is maybe number 1.
Number 1.
See, I know where you like to hang out, Nick.
Mm-hmm. We got some Sarah McLaughlin here.
Did he drown in this pool? Why are we
Oh, that was literally the last thing I was expecting.
What were you expecting?
Somebody
A
to
shark?
get pushed in, an alligator or something, but not
Oh, an alligator would
not
have been
this
good.
big of a win. You know, like.
He just kind of face plants in.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
poor
he's
guy
giving up.
couldn't do anything.
No, Liz, that's called a belly flop.
I like that this was on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Was it?
Yeah, it said AVF in the
Oh.
corner. We're fucked. All right, here we
We're
go.
done. We're done.
Oh yeah, this is another long one.
My God, all this copyrighted music, Nick. What are you doing?
This Michael covered up.
I need. Oh,
Oh shit!
Get him. Get him.
drive
Why
away.
don't you just hit him with the
There
car?
you go.
Oh, dude.
Okay.
The fuck? Was that it?
Oh, they're coming back.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Good.
Good.
Fuck him. Don't hit my car.
Back up into him. Just take the bike.
They
He
take the
did.
bike.
He sure did.
Damn, dude. That's what you get, you fucking idiot. I don't know what that guy did to the bikers.
Yeah, what do you do at that point?
Like, yeah, it's like your bike is trashed, bro. You
This is my
lost.
bike now.
I'm glad you think
That's a
kicking,
hood ornament
I'm
now.
glad, like,
Damn
and what
right.
are you gonna do? You're gonna tell the judge, well, I assaulted him and I made him fear for his life. Then he destroyed my stuff. It's like,
Exactly.
okay, so you got what you deserved. All right, let's see.
Oh, yeah, you could turn this one up.
This is gonna be a head-on, isn't it?
You think that?
Head
do
on,
think
apply
that.
directly to the forehead. Oh, things are looking up.
Oh. Oh no. Oh,
I don't like where this is going.
okay, that's a lot of them. That's so stupid. Those cars are so much money. Why would you fuck around with this?
All, like in a one lane.
Come on, give me justice. Yeah. Oh.
Nope.
Oh shit.
I didn't.
That's what you get.
Is it
You
Germany? Was it German?
That sounded German. Good. Fuck all y'all people.
Hast du gefilmt, ne?
Y'all.
Hast du super Beweismaterial.
That sounds German to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
This one's called a new meaning to pants.
To pan?
Pants.
Oh, pants.
Oh, pants.
They took
Wait,
his,
yeah, can we watch that again?
They took his dingle out.
Like that's a hot tire too. Like that's
Yeah.
not like.
Like his leg has got to be like a little fucked up, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the adrenaline. I mean,
Just
plus
enough.
everyone's seeing your dick right now.
Yeah,
You're
look
feeling a
look
mix-
at all the people just like zoomed in.
You're feeling a mix of emotions right now.
It's just bricked up.
This
I
one-
love this one.
So has anyone else seen this one before?
No.
I've seen this. This
No.
is
Did you
fucking
You see how
insane.
it's this starred in the drive? I was like, this is the best.
Oh fuck!
Now there is another angle, right?
There are several other.
Yes, yeah.
Oh boy! Like that, he's like, hold on.
Yo, that poor minivan.
This is Doc and Marty.
Yeah. The brakes just gave out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's only like 1 of 30 of those cars left in that condition too. Now there's like 29.
If I remember correct from when I first downloaded this clip, they
on,
knew
there's-
there was a chance of the brakes going out, and they still took it out.
Oh,
anyway.
so
Look,
these guys are
there's-
okay.
There,
So
did you
this
see
is
it?
the shit.
Did you see it?
Yeah, there's no airbag.
Yeah, there's no
Go back,
airbag.
go back.
Yeah.
There
There's no-
sure ain't an airbag.
Oh, Nick, I'm surprised you haven't seen this. All right, so watch this. Ready?
Yeah, just scrub this a little bit.
Now, obviously, like that's their faces hitting it, and that looks awful. Check out Homeboy's arm right there.
Oh God!
Yeah, so
Oh, that's
like,
janked.
Both of his arms.
Oh god, wait.
Hold on.
And that poor minivan.
But I
they didn't
if,
even brace.
If I'm in that situation, I feel like I would have gone around all the other cars, or
Like into a tree or something, so I don't
Yeah.
hurt anybody else.
Really, Nick? You wouldn't have plowed at your cruising speed right into the back of a car that not only is
Built
bigger
for
but
families.
weighs way more.
And is built for, built for
Yeah,
families.
literally a truck.
All right, this one's called Northern Lights.
Oh no.
no.
Oh shit, that's good.
That was great.
That was cool.
I love the hum.
Yeah.
The hum.
It's great that we didn't even see it
God,
either.
that was so satisfying.
Yeah. Oh man, that's one of those found footage
Yeah.
effects where it's not
That's some
in
J.J.
frame.
Abrams
Yeah.
shit.
It costs too much money to put fully in frame. So this is unbelievable. I couldn't believe this. This one's called Property Damage is Wild.
How much damage can you do?
Damn.
Oh, God.
Everybody's getting fucked.
This
Yeah,
is
you
this,
think that the
this-
mailbox would
okay.
have stopped you?
Yeah.
This clip is called Real Life Cluster Truck. Have you guys ever seen the game Cluster Truck?
Yeah.
Okay. This is unfucking real, this one.
Fucker, what the fuck? Fuck, 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 fuck.
Oh my God.
Dude, Jesus fucking Christ.
I love the accent. I'm impressed that
I'm
they-
so
that
impressed.
she made it.
That was really good
Talk
driving.
about threading the needle.
Yeah.
Like,
That's cluster truck. Exactly.
This one's called Regular Day at the Golf Course.
Oh no.
Bodies everywhere. I like it's like
We'll see you on the
he definitely
beach.
hit something sticking out of the ground, you know what I mean? 'Cause,
Yeah, like a
but-
Yeah, he gets
'cause
thrown.
it wasn't like they hit a ditch
And then, like,
they
jumped.
They jumped.
Yeah.
It was like you see the
It just
you
stopped.
see whatever hit them push back. You know what I mean?
Gotten yoinked.
Yeah.
Gotten doinked.
Yoinked and doinked.
Scooter Gang goes okay.
Oh, this
so
is a
this
good one.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
this one.
I see. I didn't realize I got the shorter one where just things happen immediately, and I called it. You were asking for this, or you
Part
deserve
two.
this. You deserve this. That's what I put. So, but yeah, I guess here's the full. Oh man, that's a wonderful noise.
Have you seen this?
No.
All right, guys, we're meeting up at the Staples on 46.
And the burgers and cream.
And after we have our burgers and cream, we're gonna take to the fucking streets.
We're gonna own these streets.
All right. Jim has the 20cc engine, so he's gonna be in front. And everyone get money from their mom.
Oh! Jeez! Oh my god.
The Grand Cherokee just coming out of no.
Yeah, that one really took me.
That's what happened to my Jeep.
Just gotta get hit by a barrage of scooters.
Shit. Oh my god. That was back to back to back.
That
was a
Can
good
we do the
one.
middle section
Imagine,
one more
like,
time?
One of them forgot to tie their fucking shoelaces up
Like
here.
a
So,
news
whoa, what was
report?
that?
Yeah.
So this guy
Pile
goes,
up.
that guy goes.
This guy hits him, then. God damn.
Up on the dashboard.
I know.
Hold on, I on the hood.
Oh no, thank you.
Luckily,
He
not on
his
the
head might have
dashboard.
made it to the
Hold on,
dashboard.
I'm looking
At
for.
least
I'm
they're all
trying to look
wearing
for the
helmets.
Cherokee though. Oh, so they
Yeah.
swerve right into it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit was getting ready to turn left. That's why.
Gosh.
God damn.
Lucky for them.
Thankfully, they're wearing
They weren't going
helmets.
full speed. Imagine.
Yeah.
This one called
They had a 25 cc
situational
engine.
awareness.
None of that.
What the?
Oh! He's still scared of the dog.
Big ass dog.
This guy in the car has.
Yeah, he's like,
What
what?
the fuck? Oh, he's getting away from the dog.
I also love that he thinks that'll stop the dog.
Yeah, right.
I don't know if you know this about dogs, but they like to get up high.
Dogs like to get high.
Snake found one in the village in India.
I'm sorry. What?
That ain't a person.
That's a snake.
Yeah, no, there's a person inside that snake.
That ain't a person. I think
Yeah.
that ain't
That ain't no person.
that ain't no person. That's a snake.
That's a big fucking snake.
So I know this one isn't extreme in the normal sense, but I just saw this. I was like, holy shit.
Wait, did they like?
They tied it up.
That's what they trap it by making them go through traps that have nooses, and when their neck gets through it, they noose them up. So I mean, that snake right
There's a
there, that
child
looks
in
like
there.
that looks like a python, Burmese python, which are currently running rampant in the Florida Everglades.
Yeah.
They're killing they've killed all the
all
raccoons.
of the elementary school children.
All of the furry woodland creatures are dead in the Everglades because of these snakes.
Good.
And now they're moving on to like the alligator population and shit. Oh yeah, it's not good. So it's just open kill
It's snake
in Florida.
season.
Yeah, all the time. Kill as many as you want, as fast as you can. Bring them in. Like dudes have changed their entire careers to just snake hunting because it's that profitable in Florida.
Why is it always got to be snakes?
Snakeskin boots. Probably cheap in Florida.
Real cheap in Florida right now.
Apparently the meat's pretty good too, but
I've eaten rattlesnake.
I ain't having
How is it?
snake cooked by
real
a
gamey.
Florida.
Gamey.
I ain't
Tough and
having
gamey.
snake cooked by Floridians though. No thanks. This is insane too. This one's called Streetcars Are Silly.
That was a fucking wild ride.
Yeah. Can we watch this again?
I love when like the audio just massively peaks on
Yes,
car
yes.
crashes. It's so good. At least the car
Fucked
flips
up.
right side up.
Yeah. Damn.
Jesus.
Really thought they had escaped
Yeah.
unscathed.
This one's called "The Tire Knew What It Was Doing."
This is the classic one.
This one like moves in slow motion.
Yeah, it's the classic one.
Look at it go.
Boing.
Wow. It's like a pinball machine.
Oh,
Fuck this car in particular.
And like that
person-
driver, fuck you.
Yeah.
that reminds me of the Dane Cook bit from when we were kids. There can only be one Highlander. Tires cannot defeat me.
This is Pat in high school.
That's why you should always wear protective gear.
Oh, this is
Oh.
another scooter.
Okay. Not bad.
Giving it a little juice,
Got to get it to the end.
eking it out.
Okay.
Oh! I forgot what we were watching for a second.
Me too.
You're like, oh, this is a sick trick.
Yeah, I was like, shit, is he going to make it all the way around the circle? He did.
He did. He made it back
God,
to the
Do
start.
you know when
smash.
when something gives you the ick?
Yeah.
That gave you the ick? This is like, I was attracted to his sick wheelie until he hit his head.
No, that was all bad.
Oh, look at the way the neck.
Oh.
I'm surprised there isn't blood instantly.
Yeah.
Ugh.
God.
Oh, I am actively like crying.
I'm always wishing there
She's
is. All right.
icked.
The real reason cars have windows.
Ugh.
Cars are cars.
Oh, what the fuck?
What?
Road rage.
He could just stop.
Oh,
Good. Good. Get fucked. He's acting.
He's acting.
You'll roll that many times when you're falling out of a car. That's ridiculous.
I don't know who you're kidding, buddy. This one's called "Watch Your Head."
We love
Almost died at the end.
Oh! Dude, he would have died.
Play that again. Play that again.
That would have killed him.
Damn, damn, damn.
Yeah, that actively almost took out 2 people right there.
Shit.
Fuck.
Oh, I'm
This one's called "Making a Human Train."
Huh?
Just his face.
Oh, I think we've seen this one. We've
I
had
don't
this.
remember
I
if-
think so. Yeah, we've done this one on the show.
Have
before.
we?
Yes. This is awesome, though.
Oh, come on. His face of just, uh-oh.
No mas.
No mas.
Am I liable for this?
No
All
mas.
right, this
Only
was-
one who made it out.
just because we love it so much. This one is called "You Deserve This." It's a better resolution too.
Ready? Boom.
Oh.
That's some
Comes out of
master
nowhere.
camera work.
Yeah.
Like,
I love how it like yeah.
how is it doing that?
Take the
Yeah.
focus off us idiots.
Wait,
Look
how
at
does
these
that? How does
stunning-
the camera do that?
Because it's post and he shot it in 360.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
All of that makes sense.
Yeah.
Cliptacular of the week.
Is that the last one?
Yeah, hold on.
Are we gonna sign off with the national anthem like a old TV
Yes,
broadcast? For 1995.
Listen. Here we go. You've never seen this?
No.
It's awesome.
God, that is some Joe shit.
That's where I got this clip. Joe showed me this when we were watching Kevin and Guy record vocals and guitars after
makes
we were
a lot
done,
of
'cause
sense.
all we could do was browse the internet. All right, so
1995. You can rent this motherfucker.
so this is it. This is the end of the line there, gents and lady gent.
And you
Um,
listeners.
Yeah, any new listeners, you fucked up.
Came in late.
So we got anything else we want to say? You know, in regards to this entire last 3 years that we've been doing this.
Like to thank all you listeners.
Yeah.
People who stuck around.
Kevin Houston.
Kevin Houston.
We know you're out there.
We know. We know, and it hurts. So yeah, just thanks to everyone who followed along this entire time, who shared our clips, who laughed at our really bad jokes, who agreed with us, disagreed with us, somewhere in between, left us a nice comment, a nasty comment. Those are our favorites. Conspired, contributed to active conspiracy theories about the events of 9/11 in our comment section. Yeah, weirdly, our 9/11 and Harry Potter content has done the
That's
best.
what you, well, I mean, hey,
So
that's what us
Millennials, right?
Millennials.
yeah, 9/11 Harry Potter.
I think that's a good note to sign off on.
Well, I was just gonna say thanks to you guys for
And you.
doing this. Having a good time. Oh wow, okay, having a good time. Liz, thanks for jumping on last minute and just sticking the whole way through
It's like
with
at
us
the
to
end
the
of a
end.
drama show. It's like, orchestra,
Yes.
lights.
Um,
Ah!
no. Thanks to Joe and Dan for the brief time they did this. Thanks so much to Jer for starting this with me all so many moons ago. Shout out to Jess, our original engineer, and yeah, I guess thanks so much to everybody that was a part of this. And it's always gonna be a time
capsule.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna edit a clip show of all of our favorite moments and tack it on to the end.
I'll
here, right?
figure it out. I'll
Yeah.
figure it out.
We're gonna go through 3 years worth of footage and edit a clip
yeah,
show. right?
exactly.
Yeah.
No, but so with that said,
We'll be back in some form.
we'll be back in some form or another, and we'll see you all again real soon. Goodbye.